is the Big O Show.
Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the Big O Show.
Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call him and let him know.
Culture, probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Gary. Yeah.
It's a football morning because I'm watching Chicago and Seattle right now. Chicago just took the lead late here, like in the 85th minute, as they just scored.
Inspired by that goal? Because
it was nothing, actually. It was a nothing goal. It actually went across the box, and the Fire player was just waiting for it and tapped it in, and they gave him a 2-1 lead. There, as we're watching Chicago and the Seattle Sounders right now play a little MLS action tonight, of course, Inter Miami. It'll be at 10:30, our pregame. Alex Dono and myself will start it off at 10 o'clock, so we'll have some fun. Alexa V came in first today on the chat board. She was number one. She beat Omar Lopez just in. Omar, good video you sent me, by the way. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Hialeah Bread is also in. I like it. I like it. I like it. Ian from Brooklyn in the house. Mike Jamorezic, right? Is it Jamorezic? Is it like that? Is it pronounced like that? I'm not sure. But anyway, good morning to you. As always, Mike, thank you to all already on the chat board and watching. As always, we are engulfed in watching a little soccer. Obviously, having Inter Miami now, I've got to watch every MLS game. And yesterday was actually a lot of fun. There were a lot of good games. The LAFC Houston game was awesome. Houston was leading 3-1, and they came back earlier in the day. The DC United came back and scored 2 goals in the 84th and 90th minute to tie that game. 2 games yesterday ended in ties, and they were both exciting games, which is kind of weird. And then Portland beat the Galaxy last night. Chicharito finally got his first goal as a member of the Galaxy. So now we're watching Chicago and Seattle at 8 o'clock tonight. It'll be NYCFC taking on Orlando, 9 o'clock Chicago and Seattle, and then obviously our game at 10:30. So lots of soccer action tonight. So we are engulfed in a lot of soccer tonight. So we'll have a little fun with that. I don't know how many of you are getting into it. I would hope that you're getting into it because you got your own team, and hopefully tonight the Philadelphia Union is the team that Miami beats for the first time to get their first win of the year, which is, I was just telling a friend of mine yesterday, I go, what they're going through is what they're supposed to go through. They're an expansion team. So it's kind of, expansion, it's only 3 games into their existence. It's hard to say, oh, you got chemistry in 3 games when you throw a bunch of guys together that have never played together. It's just so difficult, especially when it comes to soccer. But anyway, so we got that going on. We got a bunch of other things to talk about in the world of sports. Got some basketball, got a lot of football things that have come across the wire, some college stuff, music, as always. I mean, there's always a lot of things. It's really weird how we end up figuring out stuff to talk about. And on the basketball side, Russell Westbrook has tested positive for COVID-19. I would imagine that James Harden has too. He hasn't come out publicly, and that's kind of been the thing now. Somebody was bringing this up in the NFL. How honest will the NFL be about who fails a test? Well, listen, it's pretty simple. You know, whenever you twist an ankle or a knee, they tell you, well, he's got a lower leg injury, a lower body injury. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. They can't lie to you and tell you it's a lower body injury when it's corona. So they'll just say he's out, and then you'll know it's corona. If they don't tell you it's corona. If the player doesn't tweet it out, like Russell Westbrook tweeted out that it was corona. James Harden has not tweeted out that it's corona. That's the difference. But, you know, people are so worried about, well, will the NFL be honest and tell us? And they don't have to. You know that, right? That's medical privacy. You're entitled to it. I'm entitled to it. The players are entitled to it. But it will be easy to decipher. Okay? Because you know on the ice, on the court, on the pitch, on the field, wherever they play, you're going to see an injury and then they get carted off. And so you know if they miss the next couple of weeks, it's the injury. But if there's no injury and all of a sudden you hear player X is out for the next couple of weeks, COVID, that's it. Because they're not going to be quiet about all injuries. That's not how it is. They tell you about the injury. Yeah, no, the calf muscle is, we got to take it easy. Hamstring, we got to make sure we pace them because this, that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing about, well, it's COVID and are we going to find out and all of that? Well, they don't have to tell you. And they shouldn't have to tell you. Now, if the player wants to disclose it, then, hey, that's cool. I'm glad that he's disclosing it. I'm glad that he's giving the information to people. That way, the average, I think it's also, when I look at all of this, I think it's important that people, if they have an opportunity to share their experiences about it, so you can see how good it can be sometimes, because some people, it's nothing for them. And then there's some people that go through hell and back. Because, again, they don't know what's in our DNA, that it affects some people more than others. They just don't know. I'm talking about the healthy people. We all know pre-existing conditions. That sets you up for some problems down the line. And even saying that, there have been plenty of people that have had pre-existing conditions, or they're old, 80s, 90s, and they survive it, and it didn't really affect them that much. Again, they don't know our DNA yet. They don't know what's in your DNA and my DNA that it would affect COVID more you than me or me more than you. You know what I mean? They haven't figured that out. So I thought it was cool, at least, that Westbrook came out and talked about it. Just like when Tom Hanks and his wife got it, they talked about how difficult it was for them going through it. And I think that's really important because, there's so much unknown with this. We're all trying to figure out, a lot of us are afraid. Some of us aren't afraid at all because we think it's nothing. So it's nice to get educated one way or the other so we can actually see real people going through it, real life experiences going through it, because then that's how we can actually, associate with this thing and maybe also get an honest approach to it, because it's been so politicized that, one half does it thinks one way and the other half thinks another way. You know what I mean? Although I don't even think it's a half. I think it's like a quarter is the group that is not wearing masks and all that stuff. And
they're loud.
They're loud, yeah, but they're probably the minority. I think 75% of the world, I think, is on board. Well, actually, you know what? I shouldn't even include the world, because Europe is so much better well-behaved than we are. So let's just go with America right now. 75% of us get it. We got 25% that just refuse to, So I think it's really important for anyone to kind of explain what they're going through. They don't have to, okay? You're entitled. Any medical issue you go through, you're entitled to experience it however you want. You know what I mean? There are people that walk you through cancer and their treatment and all of that, and they want you to experience what they're experiencing, so you know what I mean? And I think that's really cool when they're able to kind of open the door for us and show us what they're going through. In fact, it's a couple. It's on Channel 10, and I'm forgetting their names now, and I apologize, but they're a husband and wife. They're both anchors at Channel 10, and they're both walking you through their experiences. And I think the husband apparently has gone through more issues than the wife has so far in the process. And they're kind of doing their video of every day of walking you through their COVID experiences. So we see that Russell Westbrook is out, and obviously it looks like James Harden also. Maybe those two were hanging out. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And so that's how they both have it. And it's it. Now, the good thing for them, I mean, I hope nothing permanent comes out of it. I don't want to say good thing because I don't wish it on anybody because, again, it's too unpredictable. But the good thing for them, if I had to spin a positive on it, is they got it early, man. They'll be ready to start when the NBA starts. And those are your two most important players. So, and they've been practicing and all that, so they just got to kind of get their wind a little bit, and they'll be fine overall. So that's the good thing, that you caught it early, and now you give them time to quarantine, get through it, get healthy, hopefully get a couple of negative tests, and then you're able to move on. On the flip side, Rashawn Holmes, he broke the NBA quarantine bubble. The Kings center went to pick up some food delivery. He goes, I briefly and accidentally crossed the NBA campus line to pick up a food delivery. 26-year-old admitted on Monday. Anyone who breaks the bubble after initially being cleared faces a new 10-day mandatory quarantine. So once the league found out about his delivery run, it was off to isolation for Holmes. I'm currently in quarantine, have 8 days left, Holmes said on Twitter. I apologize for my actions and look forward to rejoining my teammates for our playoff push. And so now you see what's going on. Bruno Caboclo, or Caboclo, right? I think also was another one that violated the bubble. He's a deep-ass bench player. Holmes is important. He's an important rotational player. Okay? He's the second big man. He's the first big man off the bench. What I mean, he's the second most important big man on that team. So Holmes is actually needed. And so, again, I think he has enough time that it won't be so bad and he'll be all right. But it's, the NBA has announced they have 2 out of 322 players have tested positive for COVID-19 since getting to the campus. So that's not a bad thing. Again, if you're able to keep everybody in the bubble, and I love how they're able to track people because they have you have something on you that kind of tracks everything that you're doing, and you're in the bubble, so you're not going anywhere. So it's not like, some of you freaks out there, they're taking my rights away. That's not what it is. And the thing also detects if you're within 6 feet from somebody for more than 10 seconds. At the 5-second mark, it starts to flash. At the 10-second mark, it starts to beep, and it's like, yo, get away from this person. You need to stay away. You're within 6 feet. And so I think they're doing everything possible to try to keep people. That's why I'm telling you, the bubble thing, at least it gives you a fighting chance for all of this. Outside, I don't see it. By the way, the Chicago Fire defeated the Seattle Sounders 2-1. So there you go. So we got the 8 p.m. game next with NYC and FC in Orlando.
Seattle being the defending champs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chicago's not a great team, but Seattle is known as one of the elite teams.
Chicago,
in the league.
I remember back in the day, they were one of the best.
No, I think they've won the MLS Cup, I think.
Yes.
I want to say Bob Bradley was their head coach. They won it, I want to say.
Exactly what they were talking about. But they said in the last 10 years, only 2 playoff appearances.
Yeah.
So they've fallen off.
Yeah. They haven't.
Standard has not been maintained.
Yeah, they haven't been very good. Yeah, I didn't have a good experience. We lost to the Chicago Fire and Miami FC when I was working with the Miami FC. They beat Orlando and Atlanta, and then lost to Chicago because they were working their way up the U.S. Open Cup, and it was like a hell of a run for them. They had beaten 2 MLS teams, and then you got a shot at beating a third team, and they went to Chicago. I flew up for that game, and it's a memorable game for me because I did Tom Hanks. I got stuck in the Chicago airport. So I was, what was it? What was the name of that movie? Where he's stuck in is it Terminal?
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Just called Terminal,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Hanks,
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, anyway, she's just fine. Yeah, anyway, so I remember that I got caught there, and I was there for 24 hours, man. Were you
at O'Hare or Midway?
O'Hare.
Okay.
I was. It didn't matter, bro. It's just
you're stuck.
You're stuck, and I wasn't in the airport. I was stuck in the gate, in the wing. You couldn't leave. You had to stay within that wing. You couldn't leave to go to any other part of the airport.
What happened that got you?
The power, the computers went down for Delta and for Southwest Airlines. So they went down to the point that they had no schedules. They didn't know where pilots were supposed to be, what planes were supposed to take off where.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it went out.
Second to Atlanta, probably in the busiest airport in Los Angeles.
It went, but it was for only 2 airlines.
True.
Apparently, they share the same service of computer or whatever. So their computers went down, and they lost all records. So everybody was stranded wherever you were. If you were a Delta or you were a Southwest customer, it didn't matter what airport you were in. You were stuck like Chuck.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and if somehow or another you couldn't, and they couldn't finagle you to another one because they couldn't bring up your history.
They had no idea.
Nothing.
What you were to transfer you to this airlines.
Nothing. So you could not leave the gate, the area. That area. So every time I had to go to get food or to get to the bathroom, I had to then pick up everything, and then I might lose my spot, and I might lose my electricity, my plug. You have no idea how precious those plugs were when the entire gate is packed and everybody wants plugs, and there aren't enough.
I wonder if this is the reason.
So, but you have no choice. You have to go to the bathroom. You have to eat, right? You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have to wait till somebody else has to eat or leave because they're by themselves. If it's 2 people, they can watch.
Yeah, you can work.
You can work it. You know what I'm saying? But when you're by yourself, which is what I was,
I'll hold up camp. You go.
Yeah.
Switch out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder if this is one of the reasons why you have all these pieces of luggage now that have all these charging and this and that, so you don't have to rely. Because of this exact scenario.
Yep, I was prepared for that.
You're one of the guinea pigs?
I was prepared. Yeah, because I always have plenty of chargers. I always have, when I travel, I always have portable chargers, also 2 of them, always, because I've traveled so much and I've been stranded several times. You know what I mean? I remember once I was in Biloxi coming back from the Senior Bowl, and we were stuck for 12 hours in the Biloxi airport. Okay, it's not 24, it's half a day. But, the plane broke down. They had to get another plane. And it took 12 hours. And so for 12 hours, I'm there, and I had my electronics, and I was, because once at least you're connected, you're fine. You can call all you want because your phone's constantly charged. I always have
some semblance of entertainment.
Yeah, I always have multiple iPads, so I'll have one running a TV, and then the other I'm using. So, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I always travel that way. The only thing I didn't have was a cot. And one guy he had a portable cot, and he actually was lying down. I was like, this guy's a total G. And it was a cot that folded up like this big, and it was flat. And after he folded it up, it was like 6 foot. And I was like, holy crap, man. It was pretty cool. He had it in his bag. So apparently, he must, Boy, he's
snowed in and stuck.
He's prepared for extremes. You know what I mean? So yeah. Always take some stuff. If you travel and you plan on, taking multiple planes and stuff like that, always be prepared to be stranded, man. I always am prepared to be stranded. I always have my pillows with me, my travel pillows, blanket. So I had all of that. So it didn't matter. I was able to kind of sleep and everything. I got my bag, I got my pillows on my bag. I was able to, sleep. So, it was all good. It's all good. And you always got to sleep like strategically, right? Where you're holding on to everything and everything's touched your body, because if somebody grabs it, you feel it, that kind of stuff. And when you sleep like that, you sleep like paranoid. Oh, we are using a very similar system to open our private boarding school in August, phasing students back, wristband health monitors with social distancing tracking, repeated COVID-19 testing. Wow. Okay. Well, boy, that's a private boarding school. So, the parents are paying for that.
The coffers are full enough that we could do this.
Yeah.
Implement whatever program we have to.
But see, that's cool. Okay. Now, but they're trying it a different way, where they have way more technology and everything involved in it, and it's private. That's different. Public, it's impossible. You don't have that kind of money.
There is no way that they're going to be able to implement any type of technology, sensor.
No.
Can you imagine?
No. And private school kids are completely different than public school kids. You know what I mean? It's a whole different ball game. The private school kids understand who's paying and why they're there. And so everything they know.
There's a sense of control and fall in line,
responsibility.
Or else your life ends.
Right. Well, yeah, one, they can kick you out. But what I'm saying is, your parents are spending a lot of money for you to be there. So you owe them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's it's that scene of Ice-T telling Pookie, yo, you owe, Pook. You owe. And that all those kids in private school, they know that, my parents are paying for this. Where in public school, they don't care. Just destroy it, throw it away, break it.
I can tell you firsthand from private school, 9 years, you screw up, you stay after school, you miss your ride home, and now your parents got to go and get you for what. Man, your life is over.
No, it's a different connection, private school and public.
It's more
different.
Serious. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to both, and I know it's completely different. And there's a responsibility you will carry in private school where you will not carry in public, ever. You just don't care in public. You know what I mean? So DFS Holiday says, NorCal Dolphin, congrats. Keep it up, bro. What did NorCal do? What's up with NorCal? Is it his birthday or something today?
I'm wondering if maybe he got...
I lost 85 pounds with a daily exercise and mild diet change. After 8 months of exercise, my lifelong asthma issues were gone. Get active if healthy enough to change your diet. If not, love you guys. There you go, NorCal. Good for you, bro. 85 pounds. That's amazing. Amazing. And amazing is DJ Gallagher chiming in with a super chat. And DJ Gallagher also puts, thank you for being the amazing broadcaster that you are. Best show, hands down. Bill is amazing behind the scenes. Eres el bárbaro. Thank you for calling me el bárbaro. Big O, thank you very much, DJ Gallagher. Thank you very much, my brother. Appreciate you chiming in on a little super chat. We love the super chat action as always. Flipside Fishing checks in, says, what's good, Big O? Been working my ass off lately. Well, good, Flipside Fish. Listen, any of us that have any kind of a job, we are blessed, okay? All right? So when you do, I wonder now, whenever we get past COVID, okay, probably sometime next year, is when we're probably, I'm serious, because it's going to take a vaccine. It's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of, intelligence. And right now we don't have enough of that, and leadership too. Not that we're going to add that in the next president, but still, once we get through this, I wonder if people will at least appreciate their jobs a little bit more, whatever job it is. because if you have been without a job now for months because of COVID and you lost it, and then this obviously sets you back because everybody's been set back by this, I'm just wondering how people will look at life post-COVID because you didn't get to enjoy your life. You know, you weren't able to go to a regular movie theater or a concert or a play. You're not able to really go to a restaurant. You can't enjoy a parade. You can't do anything really that you used to do safely. Everything is with precaution, and most of it you can't even do. And the day you're back to being able to hug somebody that you care for, or shake their hands, or be next to them, you know what I mean? Or be next to somebody else cheering for something you both like. Even though you do not know each other, you're both cheering on the same thing because you have the same passions and you're sharing all of that. All of these little things. You can't hug your grandmother. You can't hug your grandfather. You can't sit there and talk with them for a while without a mask. Almost every little action you normally exercise has been altered because of COVID. So once it is over, and once we can get back to our normal lives, which I hope once we get back to our normal lives, we do some of the things we're still doing. Not the wearing the mask thing, but washing the hands, being careful, all those kind of things. Like I've been telling you for a while, use your knuckle when you're in the elevator, not your finger.
Pull your credit card out of your wallet so you don't have to search for it and have your gloves on. And yeah man,
all these things, right? Will you appreciate it just a little bit more? Not just your job, but your life. You know what I mean? Because our lives are, the other day when I took my car to wash, I told the guy, do not touch the inside. I don't want you inside my car. I'm going to park the car, leave it here parked, wash the car. I want it here. That's it. Do not touch inside the car. You don't have to clean the inside. And he's like, really? And I go, yeah, I don't want anybody touching my car inside. Outside, I don't care. I'm fine with that. You know? And that's the way it's got to be. Now, down the line, I'll have them clean the inside of my car. But at the moment, I don't want a stranger anymore cleaning my car inside, breathing inside my car. Don't want it because I just don't know enough about this thing. Altered. You know what I mean? Plus, it makes my ass actually have to clean the inside of the car. So, you know, that's not fun either.
You get to bust out that new vacuum system you got.
Yeah, it works too. Works really well. So, you know, I just wonder if we'll be, you know, because I think once we get back to it, there'll be a little bit more sports, man. You know, you get to participate in sports. You get to tailgate in sports. You get to watch sports. You get to high five with your friends. Maybe you don't high five nearly as. Maybe you don't high five anymore with a stranger. Right? You're on one row. He or she's in the other row. The team scored. You high five a complete stranger. How many times have you done that? Everybody's done it at sporting events. Now, you might hold back from that now. You know what I mean? You might high five your buddy, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, so on and so forth. But maybe that stranger now, you're like, yeah, no more. You know, it's just, yeah, we're number one. Yeah, no more of this. No more. That's probably got to end. So that one gets permanently altered. You know what I mean? If you're smart. Okay? Plus, hell, it'll probably save you from a cold. Once we get past COVID, just a cold in itself, man, you probably got it from shaking hands with strangers.
I was going to say.
And high-fiving.
You think shaking hands is a thing of the past?
Oh, for sure.
I would say that would be the first, right?
I think you will shake hands with very close people, and I don't think you'll shake hands with anybody else. Yep. So, car key, great idea. What's car key? Oh, I use my car key. Oh, you use your car key for the elevator. Yes. That's a good one, too. There you go. Just make sure you don't use your key to then clean your ear, like my dad used to do back in the day. Remember the old man, like back in the day. Now, again, life was different back in the day. Okay? You know, when I was a young man, you could have all the sex you want. Worst thing there was gonorrhea or syphilis, and you got a penicillin shot for that.
Get a shot and move on with your world.
Right. Never happened to me, but I'm just saying, worst thing. So back then, you could just have fun and park your car in any garage. Can't do that now. Right? So, yeah, it's I'm with you. But I remember my dad, cruising around the Ford Falcon, and then he's like, gets off the car and then cleans his ear with it's just, oh man, that was back in the day. Oh, you got dummies thinking that the numbers are what, fudged, and also the social distancing is for facial recognition because space puts 300 extra satellites. What is wrong with people? There you go. That's right. There you go. That's the Oliver Stone in you talking, and the paranoia. I got you, Alex. We got plenty of people like that, thinking that they're trying to track us. God forbid I stick my key in my ear and start my brain again. LOL. Rosendo says, good morning, everybody. Happy Bastille Day and happy National Mac and Cheese Day. Okay, did not know about either one. People are hanging on hard to their current employment. You better. Any employment you have now is a phenomenal job. Seriously. Because if it's surviving through a pandemic, I mean, think about it. Corporations are going down. Forget it. It's not just people losing their jobs and their careers. Corporations are going down. So if you're working, I don't care what job you have, dude, you're blessed. You are super blessed. Because you have a job that's almost pandemic proof. That's weird. Okay? I mean, there are major corporations that aren't pandemic proof, and they're folding. And some are somewhere like on the brink, and then this put them out. But then there are some that have just had to change their entire business model because this thing crushed them for months now. And no business is set to survive for months without income. It's impossible.
I'd noticed that 2 Chick-fil-A's
right
temporary closed.
Yeah.
Which that
I use the Citibank all the time on Kendall Drive and 137th. It's been closed. I have to go to the one on something square, it's called, over by Tamiami Airport on 127th and 137th.
There's a Wawa in that area.
Yeah, there is. It is the Wawa right next to the airport. It is diagonally. Okay. It's the shopping center is diagonally across from the Wawa, has the Citibank. Okay. Good thing is that Citibank has a drive-in, so I don't even have to get off and I can do all my stuff. Whereas the one on Kendall Drive does not have a drive-in. It's right next to the Starbucks, and I have to walk in to use that one. So I'm almost like, you know what? I may not go to that one ever again. I just since I could just drive in and drive out, and I don't have to get off. I don't want to get off.
You said Kendall and 137.
No. It's 137 and Killian, right? That's what it is. It's Killian.
70, okay.
104,
104,
104 and 137 is where that corner is, where the airport is, the whatever that mall is called. And so yeah, that's the one I end up going to.
That's the one that's got
Five Guys too.
It's got a DMV in it, I think. Is that the one you're talking about?
It's got a Costco. I know that. I don't know about the DMV. It's got a Sergio's.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Notice how fat people know all the food, right? I Five Guys, Sergio, Costco, Wawa. You know what I mean? Like, fat people. We know food, bro. Like, that's our landmarks. Where are you going? No, I'm going to go to the car wash. Where's it at? Oh, it's right next to the Burger King. Oh, yeah, I know that one. One fat guy talking to another. It's how we communicate. Going to J.C. Penney. Where was that at? Oh, it's right next to the Godfather's Pizza. Oh, yeah, I know where that's at. Yeah.
Whenever you do your travels, if you're in an area that you know there's this place that's awesome that
Food.
you only go once in a while,
Food.
I'm not going to eat, and I'm eating over there.
Food. London Square. There you go, J.C. Aleman. Thank you, sir. That's the name of the mall. London Square Mall. Yes, that is it. No doubt. You got it correct.
Speaking of mall, did you see down in Cutler Bay, the mall down there? When we went to the concert, the C38 special, the mall, that they are declaring bankruptcy.
That's what I'm saying.
You know? Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. You know, Sid is saying right now, I'm happy. I still have a job at Hard Rock Stadium, thanks to Stephen Ross. There you go. I'm telling you, dude. Anybody that's still working, you're super blessed, bro. You're super blessed. I don't care if you work 20 hours only a week or 30 or 40. Whatever you're working, you are golden right now. Okay? Because you know how many people have no income coming in right now? None. So any of us that are working, we are so blessed.
Exactly what you're talking about. The restaurants that are open and stuff, obviously Friends, you know, in Springs, they do rotation.
Yeah.
And instead of getting your 40 or 50, whatever, so everybody gets a piece, everybody's at 20 hours.
Yeah.
You know?
Since you live in West Kendall, have you ever eaten at Mike's Pizza on Kendall Drive and 137th? There's a Marino's, and they do a pretty good job at Marino's on 137th and Kendall Drive. It's where the Dandy Bear is. It's right across from the Dandy Bear. I don't know where Mike's is. Is Mike's across the street over by the bank and the Taco Bell? See, fat people. Taco Bell and all that stuff. I'm not sure. You got to tell me exactly where it's at, because you say 130. Is it inside? Is it where the Citibank is? I don't think it is. I know there's a TCBY, fat people. I know there's a Chipotle, fat people. I know there's Payway, fat people. I know there's a Panera, fat people. No, I don't think there's a Mike's Pizza there.
Payway, man.
Payway's not bad.
Oh, the
Payway's
lettuce,
pretty good.
It's P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That lettuce wrap. Oh, man.
Yeah. Ian from Brooklyn says, Big O, word on the street is Tommy Italian 305 ghosted himself. Yeah, no, he kind of took a U-turn. We miss him. I put him in a tough spot, man. I love him. Tommy, we love you, brother. It's all right if we disagree. But we still love you. How about Keg South? Oh, I love Keg South. Great burgers at Keg South. We've been to Keg South, right? They have great burgers, bro. I love that place. Mike's Pizza is in the same strip mall as Dandy Bear. Oh, wow. So it's like right next to Marino's? Okay, I got to check it out. All right. You know what? I'll try it this weekend. All right. I usually order pizza once every week or two. I got to have a little pizza because I love pizza. I can eat pizza every day. I shouldn't. I don't. But I can do it. I can eat pizza every day. Seriously. No, seriously. Pizza, Mexican food. I can eat every day. I love Italian and Mexican food, dude. Like monster fans of it. Jersey Mike's is there. You're fat too, huh, Sid? Is that what's going on? So that's good. You're with me, huh? He's probably like in great shape, and I'm just having some fun with it. I'm craving steak and shake now. Oh, there you go. Kendall Drive and 152nd. Or 57th, actually. 57th, 157th. Let me get that right. Mike's is awesome, though. Not as good as it used to be. Still better than most. Is it better than Steve's Pizza down the street? Would you go to Mike's on 137th and Kendall Drive, apparently? Or would you go to Steve's Pizza on 158th, I want to say?
No. It's 162.
No. It's 162. That's right, because it's 162 because it's right next to Sedano's. Fat people. Subway's. Fat people. Cakeland Bakery. Fat people. So Steve is there. Would you go to Steve's Pizza or would you go to Mike's? I've never been to Mike's. Go to Steve's all the time. Love Steve's Pizza. Yes, it is the same Steve's Pizza from the original out in Biscayne. When I worked at WLQY and WKAT 30 years ago, and they were on Biscayne and 16th or 17th, and then KAT was on Biscayne and 135th. Steve's Pizza was right in the middle, and I went to Steve's Pizza a lot back in those days.
Was that Poppy that used to have the art show or whatever after you?
Peppy Fields.
Peppy Fields. That's
Peppy Fields, yes. The late Peppy Fields, yes. I don't think anybody watching right now knows what the hell I'm talking about with Peppy Fields. There is no way. No way. No freaking way. How about Sports Grill on Kendall Drive? I love Sports Grill. I always go to the Sports Grill where my boys, where Carlos and the boys are at, Carlos and Frankie, 114th and Bird Road. That's my specific Sports Grill that I go to all the time. Yeah, the wings are the best.
Freaking outrageous.
Yeah. I'm 50. I've been eating at Mike's for 30 years. You won't be disappointed. Great garlic rolls too. All right. What age did you start working, Big O? First job, I want to say I was about 13, delivering the Miami News. Maybe 12. Yeah, about 12 or 13, delivering the Miami News. Yeah. And
afternoon after school.
Yes. They would
deliver.
Because
we would get the paper at like 4, 5, 6.
They'd throw this stack of papers in my house. Me and my cousin would do it because my cousin was a little older, so it was kind of under him. And then they give you the bags and then the papers. It wasn't prepared. You then had to get the paper, fold it up, put it in the bag, then load your bike up, and then go and deliver the papers.
You're doing that, and I was doing inserts for the Sunday at the Herald.
Yeah,
13.
The other thing I used to do was they'd pick you up on a Saturday morning, and then they'd take you to a intersection. These are things that forget about it in today's world, okay? I might be 13, 14 in those days. And you had a stack of papers in the middle of the curb and right in the intersection, and you grab a stack of papers and you'd say Miami News, and they'd pay you, they'd give you the 15 cents or whatever it was back then for the paper. Sometimes they give you a tip, they give you a quarter, and you'd be freaking out. And so you get an extra 5 or 10 cents, and that would build up, brother. I mean, un pan de gloria was only 5 cents. All right? Pan de gloria, 5 cents. That giant-ass bread with sugar and more sugar and lots of sugar and tons of sugar. It was 5 cents, bro. You knew that when you got an extra 5 cents, you go, I already have un pan de gloria. That's it. I'm set. Life is good. So, yeah, I started working early, and then by the time I was 14, I was working at gas stations. I worked at a couple gas stations that my dad, his friend, owned. And so all I would do is pump the gas and the full service. Remember, back in those, again, different time.
Bro, the bell ring, run out, dude. Wow.
Different time. There was a full-service island, and then there was a self-service island. I worked a full-service island. So when they pull in, this is the 70s, they'd pull in, ding, ding, ding. You go out, you fill up the tank, okay, fill up the tank, check the oil, check the water, all that stuff, wash the windshield, and then get a tip. And that's really that's how I didn't get paid. I didn't get paid. I worked on tips.
You didn't even get the $2.12 like waitresses get?
Nope, did not get paid because it was illegal.
Underage.
Yeah, I'm underage. So it was just a thing. My dad, oye, tienes que aprender a trabajar. You got to learn to work. You got to learn the value of money, because I was a spoiled kid, okay? I was a spoiled kid, but I was a spoiled kid that worked. I was spoiled, but did I always have a job? My dad was like, nah.
We always had jobs.
Right,
we had cars.
Right.
Right.
But I was a little bit more fortunate than you, is what I'm saying. So I was kind of
I didn't get a new sports car like you. I got my parents' Caprice Classic.
That's my point. That's my point. That you really needed the job. I didn't need the job. I never needed the job, but I always worked, no matter what, because my dad was like, no. Even though you don't need the money, you need to work. That way, if you want to buy something for your girlfriend or you want to go out, you pay for it because I'm not paying for it. I'll pay for your clothes. I'll pay for your food. I'll pay for that, but I'm not paying for what your extra stuff that you want to do. That was his attitude. So if I wanted to, go skating and then I wanted to, have extra money for, buy a pizza slice for my girl or what, I had to have the money. So I either sold, you know what? I even worked earlier than that, actually. Now that I think about it, I had 3 mango trees. I had about 16 banana trees. And I had 1 giant avocado tree. There was no way that between me and my mom, we were going to eat any of all those things. So I love mango, but how many mangoes can you eat? So I would actually grab the mangoes and box them and then go to the different supermarkets and Cuban supermarkets, Latin supermarkets. You couldn't walk into Publix and sell it to them. But you could, La Milagrosa and, the different little places, Barbara Grocery on 8th Street. There was another one on 37th Avenue, right next to a nursery. All those little Latin supermarkets, I used to sell my avocados, the bananas, and the bananas were the delicious ones because they're the miniature ones.
Oh, the little minis, yeah.
Oh, dude. And we had like 16 of those trees. So those things were producing. So that's how I made some money.
There's a couple of friends in the neighborhood that had those little mini.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
My mom appreciated it because instead of it landing on the floor and rotting.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would at least pick them up and then boom, boom, boom. And then, and so I always had some money on me. So there you go. There's my working history. That's who I've been, man, all my life. No matter what, I've always worked.
10, 11 years old. The Pantry Pride on the June Road in East 9th Street, across from Casanova's, they put up the bars.
Disco satisfaction.
They put up the bars so you couldn't push the golf cart out to the car.
Oh, yeah.
So we would show up in the morning, and we would just run the groceries for the ladies and get our money together. And then, of course, Hialeah bowling alley right across
there.
They had Galaga, a Gorf, pool tables. We were in heaven.
Yep, no doubt. We used to go to Pizza Palace on 8th Street for pinball machines. Back in the day, this was before video started. And once the video game started, Pizza Palace was gone. But there was a place called Machine Shop in Coral Way. And then there was another, wait a minute. The one on 8th Street may not have been called Pizza Palace because the one in the shopping center where Zares was at by the Flagler Dog Track, oh, no, that was Pizza Bowl. This was Pizza Palace. Yes, that's what it was. Pizza Bowl also had a ton of, Space Invaders and all that. So when we would get money, we'd go there and go to that
Zares.
Pizza Bowl and play. Yeah, Zares, baby.
Gold Triangle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Jay Byron's.
Yes. Herman goes, you sold mangoes? Wow, Big O. Great story. Mangoes, avocados, and bananas, bro. Yeah, bro. I was a wheeler and a dealer at 10 years old, man. I'm selling fruits.
We would scope out all the different fruit trees around. My dad would conduit pipe.
I'm not the only one that did that. Lots of kids did that.
Put a little hook.
Smart kids.
At the end, it'd be we'd scope out a tree. This one's good. Get the friends in the yard and just pop them. Yeah, man.
Hey, the other thing we did as kids, we would go find glass bottles. And you would collect the glass.
Deposits back in the day. Yes.
Yeah, bro.
5 and 10 cent bottles.
And now with COVID, I wouldn't touch a bottle if my life depended on it. But back in those days, again, you couldn't catch anything in those days. You would pick up all kinds of bottles. They were all 5 cents. And then you would collect them, and then you'd go to the supermarkets, and you'd get your refund for it. And again, you were able to buy ice cream and baseball cards and whatever you were going to buy.
Candy bars were, I think, 15 cents, and you could get the big thing of gum.
And the gums were 1 cent.
Yeah, 1 cent. I remember when they went to 2 cents.
They went to 2. It was holy crap.
Freaked out.
Yeah, dude. 1 or 2 cent
They'd
gums.
have those big plastic things at the bottom and a whole thing full of bazooka.
Yep. For you young people out there, you're like, wow, damn. Things were really bad. No, they weren't. It was fun, man.
Man, when we were in high school, you could go to whatever place, the pizza, whatever, and get lunch and get 2 pieces of pizza and a Coke for $2.50.
Yeah, loved it. I helped my grandpa do a paper route as a teen. It was cool blasting Ozzy in the car and trying to break windows throwing papers. Well, we couldn't do that, my brother. You know, you broke a window and you could lose the route, you could lose the customer. And remember, see, again, these are things that now I'm thinking about this. You provided good service throughout the year because in those days, they don't do this anymore. In those days, when the holidays rolled around the corner and it was Christmas, the people you delivered the paper to every day, they had a little envelope for you. And that envelope usually had like dollars in it, not cents anymore. Okay? Even though you were living a life of 5, 10, 25 cents was a lot. No, dude, it was a couple bucks, maybe a $5 bill, and you would freak out. Okay? So I remember that during Christmas, in my paper route, I made decent money during Christmas. And I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. Now, they don't do that anymore. You know, it's just not something that's normal because, again, you connected with believe it or not, you connected with the trash man, the milkman, the mail delivery carrier, the newspaper, the people that came, you actually said hi to and you had a conversation with them. You probably knew their name. You know, it was it's just a different world, man. Now that I think about it, the more I think about it, the more depressing it is. That people aren't just human beings and they actually get to know each other. You know what I mean? It's like
our parents say now
you went
it's
from
a
the day,
simpler time.
Yeah, you went, but in those days you knew all your neighbors and they knew you, and that whole thing about it takes a village to raise a child. It literally was happening all over in neighborhoods all over that we were looking out for each other's children. Not me, but they were looking for me. You know, the neighbor next door would look out at me if my mom wasn't around or whatever, vice versa. That's just the way it went. That doesn't happen now. You don't know your neighbors. You don't care about your neighbors.
Kids don't play outside.
You don't care about the kids that are next door. It's just like, wow. It's, you know, think about it. It is such a different world, man. Big O, I used to love going to Lionel Play World to check out the new toys after watching the Saturday cartoons in the AM. Amen to that, man. Amen. I mean, when you went to Play World, it was almost like going to Disney World because it was such a treat to go. And, you know, you just were running around playing with all kinds of different toys. Yeah, it was a different...
My routine, go to the bike rack, find a bike that had air in it, and go take it for a test ride through the store.
Yeah.
And somewhere shortly thereafter, I'd be in major trouble.
At 11, I'm loading Sunday papers on my bicycle at 5 a.m., even in a snowstorm. Boo-hoo for me. Yeah, man. Different world, dude. Different world. You know? Big O, eres mango, es bueno para el... What is it? Estrenamiento? Is that what that says? I'm not great in Spanish, brother. Okay? I have lost everything in Spanish.
Oh, you're faking it pretty good, man.
Well, faking you maybe, but not anybody who speaks Spanish out there. I know all my neighbors at home and at work. I don't watch TV. I still actually talk to folks and volunteer my time to help others in my community at home and at work. Let's go, people. Turn off the TV. NorCal is a real slice of Americana. You know what I mean? He is as pure as it gets, man. One of the best human beings you will ever meet on the planet. Lionel Play World makes your frown upside down. Amen to that. Amen to that. All right, 786-322-1105. So I guess I've opened up the first hour by just talking for 50 minutes is what I see there now. I just noticed it.
Oh, we are at the 54-minute mark. I'd like to thank you for maintaining that must-do one segment over 45. It's out of the way.
Yeah, no, that's true. It is out of the way. What can I tell you?
You want to go for another 5 minutes and just make it a full hour?
Yeah. Omar goes, love going to Best, which was next to Westland Mall in Hialeah. Dude, I worked at Best. All right. And Hialeah, I worked in Playworld. I worked in Black Angus, Best, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Was that the one next to the Black Angus?
Yes. Yeah.
Across the street from Dolphin Denny's.
I'm telling you everything in Hialeah that I worked on. In the mall, what was the name of that clothes place that I used to work at, that I worked for years?
Oh, the guy Jack.
Yeah.
Was the manager of the store.
I worked at a clothes place in Hialeah. I forgot the name of it, but they had 3 other outlets, and I worked at the one in the Omni also.
That was at the entrance. That's where the entrance was that had the French pastries. And
like if you came out of Funorama and hung a left,
Yes.
it was like maybe 8 stores down on your left. That's where it was.
So it was on the opposite side of the county seat.
Specs.
Yes.
Where Specs was. It was like right across from Specs. I just forgot the name of it, but it was I worked there for a while.
It wasn't
I worked there for at least a year because I didn't work in the other places very long. I never had a job long.
There was the knife
those
place.
jobs. I usually had to leave those jobs because I had to do something else.
There was the knife place, Florsheim Shoes, and
Yes.
Barron's was down from your store.
Yeah,
I think.
I can't remember the damn place, but I remember that. So Omar, I may have been working at Best when you went by Best. Okay, back in those days, working at Westland Mall, dude. That is just, there you go. Just more memories. Gotta love that. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Daniel Snyder is a petulant child. He is not doing it because he is moral or understands it is the right thing to do. It's all over the letterhead he released the news on. He also repeatedly used the name Redskin multiple times in the announcement. Snyder never does anything right. I agree. Snyder's only doing it because he was going to lose so much money, and he was probably going to be forced to sell the team. Because the NFL would have kicked his ass out eventually. That's probably what was going to happen. Weapon X United, dude, strong on the super chat. Thank you, my brother. He says, those were the days, Big O. Peaches, gold triangle, and orange blossom hobbies. Wow. That is awesome, dude. Nice job by you. Orange blossom hobbies. That is classic, dude.
If you grew up Skipper Chuck's show,
yes,
okay, and the Sunday Funnies, because it was the only thing, whatever, for kids in the morning. Sunday mornings were so not Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Right. I mean, you hated waking up in the morning to go to school, but you woke your ass up on Saturdays and Sundays for cartoons. Like kids now, they don't have to look for that because it's got 24-hour cartoons. So that no matter when they turn it on, they're going to have cartoons. They have channels that are all cartoons. That is awesome, dude. That Boom network is, heaven because it's all the classics.
I have it recording Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I go through them and erase them. Yeah.
It's awesome. Oh, who's a worse owner, Snyder or Dolan? I'm going to go with Snyder. Okay? Only because of the whole Redskin thing. But they're both garbage. I mean, we're splitting hairs here. You know what I mean? They're both terrible owners. What are you going to do? But anyway. It is what it is, as they say. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show. The other thing that I got a lot of things that I want to talk about today on the show, believe it or not. I saw, and we've talked about this a couple of times, Jordan Reed, the tight end, the former Gator, and he was a Redskin, speaking of Redskins, for a long time, suffered a ton of concussions. Around 7 or 8 are officially diagnosed, which means he probably suffered another 7 or 8 that weren't diagnosed. And so apparently Reed's time in Washington is over. but he wants to continue his NFL career, I am completely against it. I think the NFL is irresponsible, but then again, the NFL has proven over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that player safety is not anything that they're really actually after. But apparently, 3 teams are interested in the veteran tight end, according to Ian Rappaport. Reed plans to play in 2020. That's if there's a season, at least in 2020. Maybe they'll push it to 2021. But the playmaker missed all of 2019 due to the latest concussion. Head injuries have kept Reed from competing from a full campaign in his entire career. Okay? His single season high is 14 games in 15. His best year came the same season in which he caught 87 passes, 952 yards, and 11 touchdowns. The kid can play. Okay? Nobody's going to tell me that guy can't play. That guy's a player. He is a talent. But, and by now, he's not the same player anymore because of all the injuries. But he's still pretty good. The thing is, how do you allow somebody like this to take the field for you? And you're contributing to him. I can't imagine what his life is going to be like post-40s and 50s.
This is one of those ones where you talk about they need to be protected from themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens to a lot of athletes. They don't know how to protect them from themselves. In a perfect world, you don't tell Jorge Masvidal to take that fight. In less than a week, you're not really training for that specific fight at the moment. You've also got to lose 20 pounds, and you're going up against the best in the world. Yeah, I don't like your chances. Not a smart move. Luckily, he's an incredibly tough individual, tougher than most of us, and that's the only reason why he survives the way he did. Most anybody else would have ended up in a hospital, concussed, all screwed up, and would have suffered a really bad defeat at the hands of that guy. But Masvidal is cut from a different cloth. He is one tough hombre. And that's the kind of guy you've got to protect from himself. But in that sport, you're not going to be able to do that. Here, you can. Here, you can take responsibility and say, yo, you've had way too many concussions. And this is a number that should be already agreed upon between the NFLPA and the NFL. They should have in their collective bargaining agreement a limit of whatever it is, 3, 4, 5 concussions. We can't get to a point where it's 7, 8, or 9, or 10 like this guy. No, man. You got to get to a point where, okay, look, man, officially this is what we have. We've got to retire you. Whether the player wants it or not. Because if not, you're contributing to giving dementia or Alzheimer's or something terrible like that to somebody else. And that's not what you wish on anybody, man. Not even your worst enemy. Because it becomes a burden on everybody else when you have to deal with a person like that. Because it's somebody else that has to take care of them. Because they can't take care of themselves. Do we really want to be like that? I don't think that's the right move. Hey, tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be at VSS West Pines. All right? And we'll be out there broadcasting. It'll be in the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. We got a late night tonight, and I'm going to sleep in, man. Sorry, but I'm not going to do the show early tomorrow. It'll be a later show tomorrow afternoon from VSS West Pines. Go on out there, 12397 Pembroke Road. You get 20% off. Mention my name, folks. 20% off the hookahs, 20% off the water pipes, 20% off your CBD, whether it's flower, tinctures, edibles, women's face masks, CBD topicals, transdermal patches for inflammation and pain. Go see Jose and all the great people out there. An amazing selection. Maybe you get yourself a lunchbox. Maybe you want to get yourself a really cool ashtray. Whatever it is, maybe you're looking for e-juice. They've got it there. They've got the e-cigarettes, the disposables. They've got them in multi-packs. 12397 Pembroke Road. You can also order by phone, and you can have curbside pickup if you don't want to get off. And if you do get off, wear your mask. Call them, 954-613-3367. Tell them that Big O sent you. 20% off your purchase. 954-613-3367 for VSSWestPines.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Hope everything is well out there. Hope you guys are doing well and you're safe. If you want to get in on the program, you can chime in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. If you want to get in, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. What if I told you a story about beer pong with Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce? Would you believe that they played beer pong?
Yeah, they looked like they were ready to have fun. Was this during their golf outing?
No, this is even better.
Okay.
This is a better story than that. You know Post Malone, right? So I'm liking this guy more and more. I like some of his music too, actually. He's one of those guys out of the new artists that I like. Plus, he's a rock guy too at heart. He does some stuff, that's rock influence. So I kind of like the guy. And he just looks like a cool dude, by the way. As weird as he looks with all those damn tats all over his face. Because I just want you to know, if you have a tat on your face, it's weird. It's still weird. It still looks weird. It still makes you think, is he weird? You know what I'm saying? And so listen to this. Post Malone, along with Pat Mahomes, the $500 million man, found himself under the GQ microscope a hot seat that has caused other football players to say things they may regret. Pat Mahomes avoided that in a new feature for the magazine, but Mahomes did tell an interesting story about a beer pong game with Post Malone. Malone was in town for a show on the same day the Chiefs' Super Bowl parade. As explained by Clay Skipper of GQ, Malone invited Mahomes for a visit before the performance began. Mahomes brought Malone a red jersey, and then Malone challenged Mahomes and tight end Travis Kelce to a game of beer pong. Mahomes and Kelce began to win. Malone began to get upset. Malone told Skipper that the rapper is pretty effing competitive beer pong player. So Malone kept changing partners in the hope of changing his luck against Mahomes and Kelce. Skipper explains that Malone's manager said that after 9 or 10 games that it was time to start the show. Malone refused. You got people waiting outside. Anyway, wanting to win the game before ending the beer-guzzling marathon, at game 14 or 15, Malone asked Mahomes and Kelce to sign their names on a piece of paper, telling them that he'd have their autographs tattooed on his body if he beats him again. They did. They beat him again. He has a tattoo artist literally in the room, Mahomes told Skipper. I'm like, dude, you don't actually have to get a tattoo of our autographs. But Malone honored his promise and got the tattoos. So between the Super Bowl parade and Post Malone beer pong contest, how much beer did Mahomes drink that day? Skipper put it over and under at 20. Mahomes said way over, with a caveat, of course, half the beers were on my clothes. So half the beers were on his clothes, and his signature scribbled after more than 20 beers will always be on Post Malone's body. So can you imagine playing beer pong with Post Malone, Pat Mahomes, and Travis Kelce? Now, I get that Post Malone must be a good beer pong player, but athletes are not the guys you want to challenge for that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Athletes, you got to be a special, like this guy was when we were young. I used to win all kinds of drinking contests with him because every time we had like some guy that wanted to really drink, I'd go, okay, all right, I'll bet you money that I'll drink you. I not me, him. I could never do it. I'm definitely a weak sister when it comes to drinking.
Thanks, Salato.
It's true. It's true. I'm the opposite. But he could guzzle, bro. I mean, he could guzzle. Did you see Myers Leonard? Myers Leonard put out a video. I don't know if you guys watched I don't know if I have it here. Do I have the Myers Leonard video here? Because Myers Leonard came out and chugged a beer right in front of everybody there at his hotel. He cut a nice size hole into a Coors Light can, right?
That wasn't his first time doing that, by the way. You can tell.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm saying that if you're going to challenge an athlete, okay, I don't know, dude, you may want to challenge. Make sure you challenge, Russell Wilson, challenge Tim Tebow, challenge the guy that you know does not have beer pong potential in him. Okay? That's all I'm saying. There are certain guys you look around the league and you're like Lamar Jackson. No shot. No shot that guy can chug beers. None. All right? He's too good of a dude. And not that you're a bad dude. I'm just saying he's not that dude that he seems too responsible for me. Remember, if you're a beer chugger, you got to have a little party in you. You got to be a dude that's willing to have some fun. Russell Wilson, Tim Tebow, Lamar Jackson, I just don't label those guys.
So what the hell are you saying about me here,
You're a
buddy?
party animal, yes. You're a party animal like Travis Kelce, like Myers Leonard. So he puts it out, TMZ, by the way. I'll put it. You got the audio there? All right, go ahead, play the audio because we'll play the video at the same time for folks. Go ahead.
NBA Bubble Life, and just so I have proof that this is an incredibly full beer, you can see that there. It's a 12-ounce Coors Light. Cheers, everybody.
man did it like in 2 seconds. Okay? Only he could do that.
I have to say.
Well, not now, right? You can't do that anymore, right? You don't do that anymore.
If I have to, I can.
You still can?
I can still chug, yeah, man. It's
chug.
like riding a bike.
Like he could chug.
Like 2-3 seconds.
Like hard liquor he can chug. Forget beer. Beer is for minor leaguers. I used to win rum drinking and vodka drinking contests with this guy.
Big mouth Mickeys, because they were wide.
Yep.
You just goog, 2 gugs, and bam, gone.
Yeah.
That little barrel, that green barrel.
This dude can do that. I can't. There's no way in the world I never could do that, bro.
The only thing I would say about the Coors Light.
But I mean, it's
the most watered down beer.
Right,
there,
yeah.
You know, so
Miller too.
Yeah.
Miller too. Yeah, those are, yeah. It's not like drinking a Heineken.
No.
No. You're not drinking a strong ale when you're drinking a Coors Light. That's a good point on your part. Because that's kind of, it's not to take a shot at the guy or anything like that. But if you chug a Bud, you chug a
it's
Coors
still 12
Light,
ounce.
a Miller, it's not really that impressive. You know what I mean? I've seen like way more impressive. Like way more impressive. It's not even close. That's minor leagues. Okay? Like Mickey's, like he just said. Harder to chug than a Coors.
No, but it goes down easy because the big mouth on it.
Yeah.
The air. That's what it is. The air pushes it out. Just open up your gullet.
Presidente Light will be dangerous because that thing goes down like water. Bill Romanowski probably dominated beer chug. Exactly. Right. You see Romanowski, don't challenge him for a drinking contest, dude. Lau Zato? No, bro. You don't do that. Richie Incognito? No. You don't do those things.
Shortly thereafter, all those guys are getting in a fight.
Yeah. Although Myers Leonard, bro, I got to say, Myers Leonard's pipes, we got a Coors Light. I mean, that dude is, play it again, play the Myers Leonard thing. That voice, man, he should be an announcer. He should be doing like TV shows, a Quinn Martin production. Go ahead.
NBA Bubble Life, and just so I have proof that this is an incredibly full beer, you can see that there. It's a 12-ounce Coors Light. Cheers, everybody.
Maybe he's walking around with a plastic funnel, fold-up funnel.
Oh, man. That is strong on his part, dude. Big O, you absolutely could shotgun a beer. Science does all the work. No, I can't, bro. No, I can't, Pat. I can't. No. I'll just spit it all out. No, I won't. I'd love to tell you that I could and all that, but no, dude. I'm honest, bro. That's not who I am. I can't. I wish I could. Baker Mayfield is a chugger. No doubt he's a chugger. He's a chugger to the point that he can't even outrun cops when he's chugging too much.
Aaron Rodgers, if I remember correctly.
Can't chug. He couldn't chug, remember? He couldn't finish
little spillage.
And it was like a cup, and he had to stop, and then there was, and he was the dumbass was challenging a lineman in the arena. It was, which one was it? It was, forgot which lineman it was that was there at the game also. And so he chugs it and then and it's like, all right, go ahead. What you got, Aaron? And Aaron couldn't do it. It was just weak sauce. Now, Matthew Stafford, if you remember, then came also and did it from some suite somewhere, and he did it. You know what I mean? So Matt's got a little dog in him since he is from Georgia. Okay? But Aaron Rodgers, come on. He's a cow guy. But the only cow guy that could party was probably Joe Rose. David Bakhtiari. That's it. It was Bakhtiari. Nice job by you, Matthew. Thank you. You don't challenge offensive linemen. Forget about it. That's a huge mistake. Offensive and defensive linemen are not the individuals you challenge in beer chugging contests. That's just not smart. You will lose, and you will lose badly. Andre the Giant drank 119 beers in 6 hours. I can believe that. That guy, that was a big dude, bro. So I can believe that. Definitely.
That's almost a half a keg.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy stuff. All right, 786-322-1105. Hey, Thursday we'll be at Toyota of Hollywood. Can't wait to go. We'll be broadcasting live out there, having some fun. Looking forward to it. Come on by and say hi. Would love to see all of you out there. Everybody, even Tommy Italian 305 for life. Is he there at least? He's not on the chat board. Is he watching at least? We miss you, Tommy. We love you, brother. But anyway, get on down there, 1841 North State Road 7. Go see Steve Ostrov. Go see Lori Rodriguez. Go see Azric Smith. Go see Gary Thompson, Rick, Eddie, Herbie Lopez. Herbie is just absolutely golden. Joel Rubio. Some great people out there at Toyota of Hollywood. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. 1841 North State Road 7. Buying or leasing over 400,000 square feet, over 1,500 cars and trucks. So they've got a large selection. It's not like here, we got 3 Corollas for you to pick from. No. You're going to have 50 Corollas to pick from. That's the idea, 100 Corollas to pick from. Yeah, I don't know what the number is, but you'll have a lot of Corollas to pick from. When I was picking my Camry, I had an enormous selection, and that's what you want. I was going to buy a red Camry because the red is so nice, but then I ended up getting my color, which is like an aquatic green, blue, black, whatever. It's just a phenomenal color. It's just it's just sick. Anyway, I fell in love with it. Why? Because they have an enormous selection. That's what you want. That way you pick the car you want, the color you want, the model you want, the style you want, and you get the price you want at Toyota of Hollywood, which is a beautiful thing. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. The other thing I saw was Derrick Henry. Did you guys see this? Apparently Derrick Henry and the Titans, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to agree to a new contract. And personally, for me, I find it disturbing for Derrick Henry himself that he's not going to get this, because you see what the running back position means in the NFL. It doesn't mean a lot. And it's interesting the way this whole thing is being structured between him and the team, because he's going to make $10 million this year, okay? And here's the worst part about Derrick Henry's position, and I feel bad for him. He has no leverage. He can't hold out. Now, if he does, he creates all kinds of problems for himself, right? Because, see, if you want Derrick Henry on your team, you're going to have to trade for him. So you're going to have to give up some kind of a high pick, and then you're going to have to give him a big-ass salary. This guy had a lot of mileage in Alabama, and he's had a lot of mileage so far already in the NFL, and that's the way you got to use him, because what's the other thing? He's not great at catching the ball. He's also not a multifaceted back. He's very old school. Power runner. Now, he is impressive as a power runner. This is not the guy you want to tackle out in the open field. Okay? No linebacker, no DB looks forward to tackling that guy. And D linemen know it's a load to tackle that guy. All right? And you know that you also, if you got to collide with him, boy, he's going to punish you. Now, that all takes a toll. Any of us that are old enough, we saw Christian Okoye, and it took a toll on him. As big and strong and powerful as he was, and Derrick Henry's a better athlete than Okoye was, but he's kind of the same athlete. He's limited, not a pass catcher. You're not going to use him a lot in the passing game. So teams that have passing offenses are not going to want Derrick Henry. And they're not going to want to trade for Derrick Henry because they've got to give a high pick and a salary that he wants. So how does Derrick Henry hold out? Now, if he does hold out, I do believe this. He will cripple their offense because he will expose Tannehill. And Tannehill, it's funny that Tannehill benefits from having him on the field and allowing him to do his job comfortably, because Derrick Henry's the guy that scares everybody on offense. Not Ryan, not the passing game. Yet the guy that really runs the offense, the guy that's the heart and soul of your offense, you're not willing to pay him. You're only willing to milk it as far as you can go. And check it out. You tag him this year, it's $10 million. You tag him next year, it's 12 something. It's nothing. It's not like Dak. Dak is 31 this year with the tag. Next year, it's 37. Oh, and next year, the cap probably won't, for 1 year, it won't move a lot because of what happened with COVID and all the losses. So they're not going to be able to move, like they're not going to be able to add another 5, 10 million, 15 million to the cap next year like they normally do every year. So the 12 million you can pay him next year, no. Now, I know it's guaranteed salary for him, but that's his last salary if he blows out a knee. Because again, like I told you, he's not a pass catcher. So the second he loses his mobility, and a big guy like that, where do you think they're going to constantly tackle him? Low. And so he's going to take a lot of lower leg shots. And I don't care how big and strong you are. Eventually, the pounding wears you down. But it shows you how disrespectful that position is. How they put very little value on that position, that he is the guy that everybody's game planning for. He's the guy that puts fear into every defense, and yet he's not your priority to pay. And you wonder, why not pay him, make him happy, and get a quarterback that can kind of do the same thing that Ryan does, facilitate, but not have to spend that much. But the problem is Todd Gurley, Devonta Freeman. Okay? We have now watched certain contracts that were given, big contracts, and those contracts got bad right away because of injuries to players. Devonta Freeman is still a free agent, and Todd Gurley had to settle for a 1-year contract. And Le'Veon Bell, I know he was laughing the other day that they put him number 10 in the NFL in running backs. And I understand why he's laughing, because in his mind, he still thinks he's one of the top 3. But if you look at the stats and the production the last couple of years, it doesn't really go with it. It was like yesterday I was in a discussion with a guy, and he was bragging about Odell Beckham and this and that and all that. And I go to him, dude, he has 10 touchdowns in 2 years. He hasn't really played well. He had 4 touchdowns last year, 10 in the last 2 years. It's been down. Well, no, he's still elite, and he's still a great player, and I would want him on my team. And he goes, I even want the Dolphins to trade for him. I said, man, I don't want anything to do with that guy. And then he compared him with T.O., and I said, hey, you can have both of them. Okay? I'll take Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Thomas. Because he goes to me, well, you're confusing bad attitude with personality. And I go, no. You're confusing asshole with great character. I'll take Michael Thomas and Larry Fitzgerald. They've got character. They've got personalities. They're just not assholes. You want the assholes? You go ahead and take them. And in this case, we're not even talking about any character issues. Derrick Henry's a fantastic young man. He carries himself to a T, dude. And it's a shame because he's the heart and soul of that offense, and yet he's not the guy that's getting the respect when it comes to the team and the salary. They'd rather pay the quarterback that cannot bail them out of anything than the running back that is their everything. It's pretty amazing. I saw that and I was like, sad, man. Sad that's the case for Derrick Henry. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because as you all know, that, my friends, is a 24-hour talk show. Let's see, what else do we have here on the program? Got a couple of other things that Congratulations to the University of Texas. At a time when, there's a lot of social unrest for a lot of things that have been going on, University of Texas says it's making major changes across its campus to promote diversity, inclusion, and equity, including renaming its football field after two of its greatest athletes, who both are black. Joe Jamil Field at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium will now be renamed Earl Campbell and Ricky Williams Field after the two Heisman Trophy winners, according to the school. The name change came at the request of the Jamil family. Nothing controversial about Jamil that we're aware of. He was a wealthy UT alum who donated a ton of money to the university and honored him. They honored him by naming the field after him in 97. He passed away in 2015 at the age of 90. Ricky issued a statement on the honor saying, Earl and myself are honored to be a part of the momentum of change sweeping our alma mater, the University of Texas, the nation, and the world. He added, we recognize the naming of Campbell Williams Field is a historic moment, and we urge our nation's universities to continue to reflect and review the history, symbolism, and that we place on the monuments, public institutions, and sports organizations. Campbell also spoke out saying the symbolism of this honor transcends the recognition of the Heisman trophies we received. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. But why couldn't we call it, can I be a pain in the ass now? Can I do this now? Instead of Campbell Williams Field, why can't we call it Earl Campbell Stadium and Ricky Williams Field? That way, hey, we're playing at Earl Campbell Stadium presented by Chevrolet on the Ricky Williams Field. Boom. You can still get your sponsor in if you want, okay, so you can get paid. I got no problem with that. I understand everybody's got to make money and you got to pay for everything out there. But Campbell Williams Field, it's just like,
pick one.
But give them separate. Like I've always said this. Okay, you want to name it Hard Rock Stadium? Fine. Name it Joe Robbie Field at least. That way they're playing on Joe Robbie Field at Hard Rock Stadium. That way you have your sponsor and you still honor Joe Robbie. You know what I mean? And so here you can have Earl Campbell Stadium and Ricky Williams Field. And that way you kind of separate the two.
You see, I always call it Joe Robbie.
No, I know. A lot of people do that. A lot of people call it Joe Robbie still. Yeah.
Once we got to Pro Player, Shark, this, and you two even made a joke, the 360 tour, remember?
Yes.
How many stadiums you got in this freaking town like this? They ran off all the names.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they've performed in all of them. That's the thing. That's the difference. Oh, if you were an NFL GM, would you pay a running back in his mid-20s big money when you could just draft their replacement at a much cheaper price? Troy Ortiz, normally what you're saying is 1,000% right. Derrick Henry's not your normal running back. Titans are not your normal offense. Ryan Tannehill is a limited quarterback. I don't care what anybody tells me. I've watched this kid long enough to know that if he doesn't have the assistants around him, he will crap his pants like he always has, like he did in the playoffs. When they shut down Derrick Henry, can you bail us out? And Ryan's like, huh? Am I supposed to? I don't do those things. I look pretty. I have a pretty wife. I'm a really good kid. I'll get you a couple yards. I'll throw you a touchdown or two, but I'm not carrying you. Can't do that. I'm sorry. So that's my only point. I put it this way. I'd rather you pay Derrick Henry and go get Ryan Fitzpatrick to be your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? What Ryan did, I don't think it's that impressive. You only need a quarterback that can make a couple throws for you a game because that's all you need from Ryan. My Lord, you were winning games throwing 70 yards in the playoffs. The guy threw for 150 yards in 2 playoff wins. Let me repeat that again. Ryan Tannehill threw for 150 yards in 2 playoff wins. So I normally would agree with you, Troy. Okay? In this case, the Titans case, I don't. Because who are you drafting that's Derrick Henry? You have to understand Derrick Henry, okay? The defense knows he's running. The defense knows he's not pass catching. And the defense still can't stop him.
It's not even 8 in the box, man. It's 9, 10 guys in the box.
It's Marino. Marino had no running game. You knew he wasn't going to be running the ball. You knew Troy Stratford wasn't getting it 25 times a game. You knew Higgy wasn't getting it 25 times a game. You knew it didn't matter who the running back was behind Marino. Point is that person was never getting 25 touches a game because there was no elite back there. And you knew Marino was passing, and you still couldn't stop it. That's my point. So Henry's a little different than your average back. Now, listen, Troy, you could be 1,000% right because it could end up like a Gurley deal and a Devonta Freeman deal, right? You pay him, he gets injured, and then the deal looks like crap. That's the gamble you take. That part I would go with you. But the thing, like you said, of, well, you'll draft his replacement, it's a lot harder to find another Derrick Henry. You know? That is one physically imposing human being, dude. You know? Really impressive. All right, it's 12:30, bottom of the hour. The show is proudly brought to you by Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the finest Acura dealership in the country. Go see Larry Schlossberg and company out there, 15601 Pines Boulevard. We'll be out there on Friday broadcasting live. Tell them that Big O sent you, man. I'm telling you, if you own or lease an Acura, go get it serviced. Mike Chen and Jordan Ferber, they do an outstanding job. I've been talking about Acura now for 10 years, folks. Get on down there. Tell them Big O sent you. Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. If you want to get in, you can get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, You can also reach out to me on Twitter at Big O Show. And, of course, you can always reach out to us on email, Orlando at BigORadioshow.com. That's always the way to reach out to us on email. Looking forward to tonight. Inter Miami taking on the Philadelphia Union. Pretty much a must-win, okay? Pretty much a must-win is what it is tonight. They've got to get that W today. So I would imagine you're going to see a very desperate team from Inter today, because if they don't win, it's going to be really impossible to advance.
I was looking at the standings. It's Orlando, Philly with 3, us, and New York. You see? And there's a 1-goal differential with all. They've got the positive. We have the negatives at the bottom.
Yeah.
So we need to win. Let's go with the 2-goal win.
Yes.
3-1, 2-0.
Or
to get that goal differential.
Or 3-0.
Oh, well, you're taking it to another level.
Yeah, I want 3-0, bro. I want 4-0.
Okay, you really want to ensure because of the goal differential.
Yeah, well, we've lost our first 3. I need to catch up, bro. I need some extra entertainment tonight. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I want the boys to really blow up tonight, man, and have some fun and build some confidence. And I think once you bust through that threshold of getting the win, you now build that confidence, and it really helps out. But if you keep falling short, it doesn't help you confidence-wise. They can tell you all they want. Any athlete can tell you all they want about, no, we feel good, we're still confident, this and that. But if you keep losing, the doubt sets in, man. It's only, human nature that would be the case, What are you going to do?
In all honesty, take advantage of a couple of situations, because we've missed out on several really good scoring opportunities that have cost us in all 3 games. And defensive lapses. When we make a defensive lapse, it goes in the net.
By the way, can I just say something disturbing? We already have, it is 12:38. We have 132 people dead today in the state of Florida. 132.
Well,
just to tell you,
because of the increase in numbers, we expected this, right?
It was 35 yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, 12,000 cases, 12,624 cases. Okay, we have right now at noon, 6,248 cases and 175 dead. Okay? I mean, 120, what is it? Wait a minute. Now wait a minute, hold on. Where are we at here? I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Here we go. Damn it. Now, 132 dead right now. 132, dude. Arizona has 4,273 cases, 92 dead.
We were expecting the death toll to.
Oh, and it's gone up already.
It's
gone up already. We were in the 700s on Saturday. Sunday went back down to the 300s, where it's been 300-400 over the last couple of weekends, and then Saturday it spiked. And then now, obviously.
You have to figure as the cases go up, it's going to trickle to more deaths as well.
Wow. Crazy, dude. Right now for our country, just so I can fill you in, because you know how many in our state, right? Our country has 351. We have 132 of the 351. We have 21,570 cases right now and 351 dead. So obviously this is going to be another terrible, terrible day again. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. As you know, that is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. Plenty of stuff to talk about. What else do we have here that speaking of the whole Dak Prescott thing, the Cowboys and Dak Prescott have not talked since March. And it's such a bad look for the Cowboys. It's funny because and look, we had Newey Scruggs on about 3 weeks ago, And he gave us many reasons why he believes that Jerry Jones doesn't have, racism in him, that he's not racist, right? So I'm giving you optics now, okay? I trust Nui. I've known Nui for a while. I've had him on the show. You follow him. He's a pretty straightforward guy. So he has seen examples. But I got to be honest with you. Sometimes the racist will do things for somebody that he is racist against, but it's because they need him or because it's good PR for them or it benefits them one way or another, and that's why they're doing it. They're not doing it necessarily out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because it makes a lot of sense for them in the big picture in people's eyes. And when you see Tony Romo constantly get a contract and choke after choke after choke with no problem get a contract, and meanwhile Dak Prescott has not had those moments of chokeness yet because you haven't put him in that position and his team hasn't been that good, but he's been good. He's been really good. So he deserves his money. Whether you think he's elite or not, that doesn't matter, dude. Kirk Cousins got his money. Everybody gets their money. Russell Wilson gets his money, right? So you wonder, why isn't he getting that money? And then to throw on top of everything else, everything that's gone on with the Black Lives Movement, we still have not heard from Jerry Jones, correct? Am I wrong here? Jerry has not said anything. He hasn't come out publicly to talk about anything. I'm just giving you optics, what it looks like. You can tell me that he's done a lot for his, team and his players and his black players. And Nui told us a story about Nate Newton and how he brought him back and put him on the air and all that after the weed and all that. But again, is that Jerry just doing a little good PR by bringing back one of the great players, giving him a second chance, and it makes him look like, hey, look at me. I'm Mr. Good Guy. I gave the guy that nobody would give a chance a second chance, one of ours. So is it that he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart because he truly cares, or is he doing certain things that he's done in the past because he needs people? Because these are the people he makes their money off their backs, off the sweat of their backs. And so now when you hear that there are no plans for renewed talks and that Prescott and the Cowboys aren't talking and that the Cowboys have until Wednesday, tomorrow, to reach an agreement on a long-term deal with Prescott, or he's going to play under the one-year deal on the franchise tag, you wonder what the hell's going on. I'm just giving you optics, okay? And it doesn't look good for Jerry. Just like when he didn't want anybody kneeling because he was against it, and now he's got to swallow his pride, but he embarrassed the players by doing that clown-ass kneeling thing on the field before the anthem. I don't know, you guys aren't going to kneel, but you'll kneel the way I want you to kneel. I'm just saying, a lot of this phoniness rubs me the wrong way. And maybe people around him are right. Maybe he is a good guy at heart. Maybe he does have the best interest of his players at heart. Maybe he truly cares for them. But I got to tell you something. When you truly care, you show it, man. And you show it on a consistent basis. And when I watch the NBA and their players, I think they care more about their players than anything the NFL ever shows. Certainly Jerry Jones. I'm just saying, there are examples out there of teams that really go out of their way to show that they care about their players. Individuals, whether it's coaches, general managers, owners, that they have shown at times that they care about the people that they employ. Optics are not good for Jerry Jones. You guys can decide on your own where you think he is and what he is. But the optics have forced you to go in one major direction. That I can tell you. Okay? And I can't blame you, too, at the same time while you're thinking that way, because it only makes sense. 786-322-9232. 11:05. His face is stretched too tight, and he is sleepy. Everything Jerry Jones does is about making money. How many felons does he give money to if they help him win games? I wouldn't pay Prescott more than the average QB. He is a running back that can throw the ball. He's not a pocket badass. Tremolio, I think you need to look at him, bro. He's a pocket passer. Tremolio, I think you have not looked at what he did last year. And he didn't have incredible receivers last year either. You know, they added a guy later on, but it wasn't like this incredible receiving core. And let me run the stats by you. I don't think running quarterbacks throw this much. He threw for 4,902 yards. He threw for 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. He had a 65.1 completion percentage. Okay, that's a high percentage to connect. 67.7 the year before that. It went down to 62.9, which is lower than you would want. And then the first year, 67.8. He has averaged 65.8. You want your elite quarterbacks have to be in the 65-70 range. He has been in that range. He has thrown for 15,778 yards in 4 seasons, 97 touchdowns, and 36 interceptions. I'm not sure what you're looking at, bro. He's a passer. He's a pocket passer. And you say he's a runner? Let me give you the stats here, my man. Where are the running stats here? Because I'm pretty sure they're not very impressive. Here they are. Running stats, okay? Is that yard? Oh, no. No. Here it is. Rushing. Here we go. If he's a rushing quarterback, Tremolio, okay? 282 yards, 357, 305, and 277. That's not a rushing quarterback. You want me to show you Lamar Jackson's numbers? That's a rushing quarterback.
He can run, but that's not
He's a pocket
standard.
passer.
Yeah.
He's a pure pocket passer.
Like I said, he can run, but
he runs only when he has to, that he has no choice. So I hate to tell you this, Tremolio, you couldn't have misread Dak Prescott more. Okay? Like, you couldn't be more wrong about Dak Prescott. Okay? Not a running quarterback. He is a pure pocket passer. And by the way, by your standards, he might not be, but by NFL standards, he's a damn good one. 65 to 70% on a consistent basis, you're good. Okay? I think you misread him, bro. And he deserves his money. Put it this way. He's better than Kirk Cousins. So if Kirk Cousins gets that $30 million, so does he. You tell me, who do you want, Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins? I'm taking Dak Prescott. All right? Everybody on the chat board right now, Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott, which one you taking in a big game? Which one? Who would you want as your quarterback, Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins? You know, Tremolio, you can complain all you want. The market is the market. And if they're paying Kirk Cousins $30 million, you got to pay this guy $30 million also. They're actually paying him more, but whatever, 31 is the market. It is what it is. The elite guy now is getting 40, 45 now. Right? That's the new standard. Okay? So, there you go. Tremolio put Cousins. He might be the only one that puts Cousins. There we go. Miguel got in. All the Daks are coming in. Alex Diaz says Dak. Raging Dolphin Maniac says Dak. Omar Lopez says Dak. Matthew Stafford says Dak over Kirk. Lisa Rose says Dak. Miguel said Cousins. Ian from Brooklyn says Dak. But I don't like him as a QB. That's right, but you like Cousins even less, right? That's my point. Let's see what else. King Short says, what's his average yard per completion? Let me see, doggy. Let me check for you. Average yard per completion, 11.8, 10.8, 10.9, 12.2. He's a running quarterback, huh? Oh, man. That's all right. That's all right. Anyways. So, what are you going to do? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Is it yards per? Is it yard? Wait a minute. I may have read it wrong. 8.6, 6.5, 7.5, 8.4. No, that's not the one either. Yards at 8.0, 6.8, 7.4, and 8.2. He averages 7.6, which is good, which is not terrible. I think that's the one. Let me see. There's a couple here. I may have read the wrong one. Let me see. No, yards per catch. No. Yeah, wait a minute. If he averages, okay, he averaged 229, 207, 242, 306. And no, yeah, it's 11.8, 10.8, 10.9, and 12.6. 11.6 is his career. Okay? Yards per catch. Yeah, that's it. 11.6. So it's pretty good. Dak by default, I guess. Dak, hands down. Dak, great regular season numbers, but has never made a deep playoff run. Dude, that's the whole Cowboy franchise since Jimmy Johnson left. David, don't blame Dak for something they haven't done for 25 years. Last I checked, neither Cousins or Prescott win games. Yeah, but that's not the point. That's not the question. Mike, stay on the point. Dak Prescott has a choice. He can either resign or walk away and sign with another team. Big O, game on the line, fourth quarter, down by a TD. Who would you want? Prescott, Jamar, Jackson, or you mean, Lamar Jackson, I'm sorry. Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, you got to go 80 yards with 120 left. Dude, what kind of a question is that? If you don't pick Watson, you're a moron. Okay? There's no other way of putting it. That's the only guy there that's a money man and a passer. Dak is a passer, but he hasn't proven to be a money man. And Lamar's not a passer. Lamar's a running back. So until I see Lamar beat people with his arm on a consistent basis, then I can consider him there. Lamar is not even in my consideration. Okay? So, yeah, it's not even close, dude. Watson by miles. Watson is special. You can't coach what Watson has. You know that corny-ass line, the it factor? You can't coach that. You either have it or you don't. And Watson, oh, my Lord, has it. Wow, does he have it. He has it tenfold, dude. Okay? I saw Lamar Jackson, what happened in a big moment with no running game. He crapped in his pants. Couldn't get it done. So Lamar is light years away from me believing that he can win a game with this. He can win a game with his legs. Can't win a game with his arm. Big games I'm talking about. If the point is I have to pay Dak or Cousins, I'd take Dak. Of course, man. Everybody's taking Dak. Most people with common sense will take Dak Prescott over Kirk Cousins. Okay? And in the list you gave me, Deshaun Watson, Jackson, and Dak, nobody at all will choose anybody outside of Deshaun Watson. If you pick somebody else, you're either a homer for one of those guys, you're a Cowboy fan, you're a Ravens fan, you're a Miami guy that you say, oh, you got to root for Lamar and all that. Bro, Deshaun Watson is light years ahead of those guys. That kid's special, man.
You could be a Louisville fan.
Yeah, you could be.
For Lamar.
You could be. That's right. You could be a Louisville fan. You're right. No, you're right. You're right. But, I mean, Deshaun.
Don't just play basketball there anymore.
Yeah, I've always been a Deshaun Watson guy, man. You can't teach that kid. You can't teach what he does is just a gift from the good Lord. You know? That's the way I look at it. He is, the good Lord blessed him with this special, whatever, it's Brady, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. Deshaun has that. He hasn't won it yet, and again, not his fault either. By the way, you know that what was the guy that said that Dak Prescott hasn't done anything? You know Deshaun Watson hasn't won anything significant either. But again, that's not him. That's Bill O'Brien and the team. I can't blame everything on Deshaun Watson. I've watched his ass do Houdini-ass stuff all the damn time. It's not his fault. You know? It's you watch Dan Fouts. He had the kind of career that he could have been a Super Bowl champion. Not his fault that everything else didn't fall into place. You know? Unfortunately. That's how it is. Marino, badass too. Just didn't have everything to fall in place. You can't blame it always, everything on the quarterback. And I'm not laying everything on Dak, and I wouldn't lay everything on, hell no, I would never lay anything on. Now, Deshaun Watson's a little different. You know why? Because you saw him win a national title. You saw him lose to Alabama and ball. Like, you saw that game and they lost, and you're like, well, they didn't lose because of Deshaun Watson. You know, that kind of stuff. And then he goes and beats Alabama. You know what I mean? So with Deshaun, even though he hasn't won squat at the NFL level, and you've watched him do all kinds of things, you know that kid is special. Like, it's automatic that kid is money. Love Deshaun Watson, as you can tell. 786-322-1105. Yeah, Watson, even with that dumbass coach, Julius 305 says. Only guy you pick over Watson would be Mahomes. Now Russell Wilson. You got to pick Russell Wilson, bro. You know, I mean, you know, been there, done it. You know what I mean? And does it all the time. So yeah, I would take Russell Wilson over Watson. And remember, Watson has way more injuries than Russell Wilson. Okay? Russell even gets injured but stays in the game. You know what I mean? So that's where Russell Wilson passes Deshaun Watson. That is the only knock you can have on Deshaun is that he's had his share of injuries. That's the only knock you can have on the guy, but I love him. Watson, hands down, just look at what he did against the Saints on Monday night last year. 2 passes and took the lead in the fourth quarter. The guy's special, man. Special. Just look at Deshaun Watson the second half in OT versus Buffalo in that wild game. Exactly. I don't know. If I had a Titans franchise, I'd take Lamar Jackson over Watson. Could you imagine him and Henry together? Mike, I understand, but I keep telling people, and I know that people are saying, oh, you're rooting against Lamar. No, I'm not. But Lamar Jackson is going to the big injury's coming. I don't wish it on him, but you can't play like that, my man. This is the NFL. They break Cam Newton in half. Okay? Understand that. They break down Cam Newton. What did I tell you earlier about Derrick Henry? Who did they break down? Christian Okoye. And Christian Okoye was big, strong, powerful. He was a Peterbilt truck. And they break you down. So Lamar Jackson, if he doesn't learn to beat people, you know how Tremolio had a terrible scouting report on Dak Prescott? His scouting report was more about Lamar Jackson, the running quarterback. Well, that guy, until he learns to stay in the pocket and win games with his arm, if he doesn't learn to do that and he keeps running, the big knee injuries coming, whatever, it's going to be ugly. Somebody will catch him. Eventually, he will spin the wrong way, and he's going to spin right into a linebacker that is going to bust his ribs in half. I'm telling you, because that's what this league does. Okay? That's why I don't think the Cam Newton thing is going to work in New England, because if you're just going to play his game is not good enough for the NFL. His game eventually will break down. And he's taken such a beating that it just doesn't work. And Lamar's body is not anywhere near Cam Newton. Like, when the good Lord was chiseling, like he said, you know, with this mold, I'm going to make Adonis. I'm going to make like a guy that every guy wants to be and every woman wants to be with. And boom, made Cam. Because you see that guy's body, and that guy's body is, you and I know. If I was built like Cam, First of all, I would be doing the show shirtless every day. Okay? If I was built like Cam. If I would go out, I'd go out shirtless. Okay? If I was built like Cam. Piss my wife off, whatever, I don't care. But if I want to look like that, I want to make sure everybody knows I look like that. Right? And they broke that guy in half. You know? Ben Roethlisberger, he didn't run, but he bought time back there, and they broke his ass in half too. Okay? It's going to catch up to you, man. And it's going to catch up quickly with Lamar because it's too many times. He's playing Russian roulette, and he's just spinning that chamber every time he takes a snap. He better learn how to beat people from the pocket. Running is not the way to go in this league. I'm just saying. I look forward to seeing Kyle Van Noy breaking Cam Newton in half. I'm with you, Tremolio. That would be nice. That I agree with you. Dak I don't, that I do. King Short says, how is Alexa today? Alexa is amazing. She was number 1 today. She was first up, and she logged on first. She beat Omar. Omar, they've taken the title away from you the last couple of days. Omar, gotta say, it's been impressive to see who's the first one to log on. And today the president logged on quick. If Big O was built like Cam, he'd design a Big O show tank. Top, not T-shirt. That's right. There you go. You are correct. Look at his chin. There's an eyebrow there. Or look at his chin. There's a brown eye there. Now, whose chin are we talking about? Is it me? I don't think there's any brown here. I don't know. Who are we talking about? Super Boom Shack, what are you doing? You guys get into these conversations. I have no idea. Let me see if we got anything new to add on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. On Twitter, remember, you can always reach out to us at Big O Show. Many ways to reach out to us. Email Orlando at BigORadioshow.com. So there you go. Lots of ways to reach out to us. How about let's do this. It's 1 o'clock. Let's take a quick break. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side really quick. Give me a couple minutes here. Hour number 3, we got some music news. Got a couple of football things I want to talk about also here on the program. Local football news, too, I want to get into. Back with more right here on The Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. Back. All righty, we back. Anyway, if you want to get in, you can get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. Talking a little music. You know, we love talking a little music. Give you a couple of music notes here today. First of all, you remember Alcatraz, right? With Yngwie Malmsteen?
Of course. That was when we first heard him.
Right.
What was it? The cassette that had the brown paper bag with the pink kind of tinfoil labeling, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. And so they're back together again, Alcatraz, but without Yngwie. But Graham Bonnet is the lead singer. So Alcatraz have released a stream of their brand new single called Dirty Like the City. The song comes from their fourth album, Born Innocent, which will be hitting the stores July 31st. Graham Bonnet had this to say about the new song. He said, Stevie Vai sent us about 60 songs. You got to love somebody that's got like a catalog. Here's 60 songs I haven't used yet. Maybe you want to use one of these. Out of all of them, Dirty Like the City was the one that stood out right away for me. And after a good listen, I knew it had to be included in the album. Jimmy Waldo, the keyboardist, said, I love this piece when Stevie Vai sent it to us and knew right away that Alcatraz would eat it alive. It was a perfect fit for all the material on the album. And then the song is there and the video is there. You know what I should do? I should post a video so I can give it to you guys out there and you can see it and play it if you want. I don't want to play it here because then YouTube gets all crazy on it. But if you are a fan of Alcatraz back in the day, you will definitely enjoy watching this. I mean, I'm a Graham Bonnet guy too because I like him from his Rainbow days, Alcatraz, the solo stuff. So I like Graham Bonnet. I think he's a pretty good singer. Different type of guy.
For me, obviously us coming from Eddie and Randy, and I can remember hearing that Yngwie, and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like another level, man.
Right, yeah. Yeah, well, because it was a new style of playing because it was a classical metal style that did not really exist at that time. Now we have a couple of them now. Now there's you go see Nuno Betancourt and he can do a lot of that stuff too. And he's really, really good. I by the way, I just tweeted the single from Alcatraz. If you want to check out the video, it's there on my Twitter page at Big O Show. You can check it out there. But anyway, just in case if you are an Alcatraz fan, if you like rock and roll, they're a little heavier than rock and roll. The other thing that I wanted to a couple things that I wanted to share with you guys. David Lee Roth was asked about Eddie Van Halen, and it's kind of depressing news, by the way. It says David Lee Roth has twisted the knife on an already painful 2020, telling New York Times that he's uncertain that Van Halen guitarist and co-founder Eddie Van Halen will ever tour again. The singer has already cast doubt in the heart of Van Halen fans over the last year, alluding to the idea that the revolutionary guitar player is not doing well. He even went on as far to say, I think Van Halen's finished. Amid rumors of a reunion either with Roth or Hager, the latter of whom he still thinks a reformation could possibly be a go, Roth spent much of his time discussing his other creative outlets, and he goes, he considers himself to be in the high-risk category as in the relation to the virus, which a lot of us are. The Van Halen frontman offered his reasons as to why he believes so, stating the road will deteriorate you from the beginning or it will keep you alive forever. When we go out, we wear ourselves to the nub. I just had a lower back surgery. It was a spinal fusion. When they take a chip from somebody else, I'm actually taller now. Do I seem taller? I mean over the phone. That's Roth, of course. Always kidding around. But that's the reason why when people tell me, why are you going to go see him again? That's because I don't know when it's the last time. And the last couple of times I went to go see Van Halen, I really didn't go see it because of David Lee Roth. I went to see him mainly because of Eddie Van Halen, because he's just one of the greatest guitarists of all time. And he is a god when it comes to this. And so I wanted to see, Eddie again. Now, I will never see Eddie again, but I've seen him, I don't know, a whole bunch of times. Double digits. I don't know how many times, but several times, traveled and everything. And so, just one of those deals. But this is why when any of us get to see somebody if there's a band out there, an artist you like, go see them. Because you never know when it's the last time. Treat yourself, man. That way you have the great memories of it. And that, to me, I have incredible memories of Eddie Van Halen. Not only can I go to YouTube to watch him, but I witnessed him myself, and that to me is priceless, as they say in the commercial. David Lee Roth, by the way, says he's been creating artwork. He calls them comics while in lockdown. Their theme offers reflection and occasional satire of these COVID times. Social commentary is what I do, Ross said during the conversation. The rocker insisted he's always had an artistic eye. My hand has always been in wardrobe, background sets, stage sets, album covers, video direction. He explained that is part of it, and there's a craft involved, so there's a little bit more heft of some of the statements. So Roth keeping himself busy, unfortunately also giving us the bad news that it doesn't look like you will be seeing Eddie Van Halen again. July 14th, well, let's give you a couple of important things on July 14th. First of all, in 1967 on this date, The Who began their first American tour, opening up for Herman's Hermits. Can you imagine in 67 you're going to a Herman Hermits concert and The Who is opening up? That's freaking awesome, dude. In 2012, Paul McCartney joined Bruce Springsteen for the encore of his show at London Hyde Park, only to have the venue pull the plug on the historic collaboration due to a curfew. While the pair got to play I Saw Her Standing There Together, the sound went out at the end of their joint version of Twist and Shout. I mean, come on, dude. Really? You're going to cut out Paul McCartney and Bruce Springsteen? Pay the fine. Anybody complaining about music, just tell them, yo, that's McCartney and Springsteen, dude. You'll like this. In 1982, on this date, Alan Parker's directed film, Pink Floyd The Wall, premiered in London. It would go on to peak at number 3 on the box office here in America and earn $22 million before closing in 1983. And look, young people out there, $22 million don't mean anything to you. In those days, that was a lot of money. And especially for that kind of movie, that was a boatload of money back in those days. And remember, they charged a lot less for a movie theater back in 82.
82, we were probably paying
$2, $2.50.
Because they had the $1.50 cinemas, the $1.50, the Circle in Miami Springs.
Say
there was one other
maybe
Essex. I think one of the Essex somewhere was $1.50. So it's maybe $2.50, $3 tops.
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah. No, but I mean, for that's not a regular movie.
Oh, you're all right, Chubbs.
That's a musical movie. That's different, dude.
Yeah.
And to earn that kind of money, pretty impressive.
Pinky, get off the line.
Other bad news, you heard that Van Halen and Eddie may not tour again. Ozzy Osbourne still recovering from numerous health issues, and according to Motley Crue's Nikki Sixx, remember, they've been friends since they toured together back in the 80s. Ozzy and Crue have always been together. So in 19, Ozzy suffered both a bad bout of pneumonia and some serious injuries during a fall that they were old injuries that were kind of reawakened. So he's been recovering at home. In an interview last month, he says, I'm getting better. It's a slow process, but I'm getting there slowly but surely, but perhaps things aren't going so well. Nikki Sixx tweeted out last week in a response to a fan who said, how's Uncle Oz? Sixx didn't mince the words. He says, someone said he isn't doing good health-wise. Sixx wrote, adding, that makes me sad. We love him. So obviously, again, I don't know how many times you've seen or you've never seen Ozzy. If you have, you're blessed, and it may have been the last time that you saw him, which for me would be the Rockville in Jacksonville 2 years ago. That was the last time I saw Ozzy. Obviously, Rockville was canceled this year, but last year when we went, Ozzy was there, and he closed the third night, and that was the last time I saw him. And I'm hoping I get to see him again. You know, I know he's not as sharp as he used to be and all that, but still. How about this? This is a great story and a sad story in a way. I got to say it's also sad to a certain extent. In 2020, classic rock is still some of the most popular acts there is in the world. Nielsen has released the stats, listen to this, on music consumption for the first half of the year, and classic artists are rock's most streamed. The Beatles remain the most powerful force, ranking number 1 in the genre in streaming artists. They're followed by Queen at number 2, Fleetwood Mac, Metallica, and then number 5, the only other act that wasn't rock, was Imagine Dragons. Okay? Love all 5 of them. I love Imagine Dragons too. I've seen them a couple times in concert. Huge fan of Imagine Dragons. The 5 most streamed rock albums of 2020 so far: Queen's Greatest Hits is number 1. Elton John's Diamonds, number 2. Creedence Clearwater Revival's Chronicles Volume 1, 3. Journey's Greatest Hits, 4. And Fleetwood Mac Rumors, 5. The most streamed rock songs: Believer by Imagine Dragons, followed by Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen, Panic at the Disco's High Hopes. Man, that kid can sing, dude. From Panic at the Disco, what a voice. Props to that guy. and Eagles, Hotel California. Even radio recognizes the continual draw of classic artists through High Hopes. Rock's most played song by a wide margin, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, Livin' on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, Every Breath You Take from The Police, and In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. As a whole, rock accounted for 19.3% of music consumption in the USA, a calculation which factors in streaming, physical and digital sales numbers. The genre was second most popular type of music in the country behind R&B hip-hop. How about that? So, rock and roll isn't dead, but the one that's alive are the guys that are almost dying. Or some have died, actually. But that tells you right there. So, kiddies, what's wrong with you? Get on board. The sad part of all of this is that we don't have new rock bands, dude, on this list. You know? It's like you would like the Foo Fighters on here, and you would like, Greta Van Fleet, and you would like anything new, Rival Sons. You would like something newer.
Well, you
something...
touch Foos, Incubus.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever.
Fuel.
Fuel is. Are they even still together? That's not big enough. That they would never get to that stage. You reached a little bit there.
I like Shimmer.
I know you like Fuel. I get that. No, I'm not. They're a good band. I'm not dissing them. I'm just telling you, they're not big enough for that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like you would like some of the newer bands to be a part of something like this. Them Crooked Vultures, I love. They would never be part of anything like this. They're not big enough. But there aren't new bands. Remember we talked about how the last superstar bands are Pearl Jam and maybe Foo Fighters and stuff like that. Those are the last like superstar bands. And Foo Fighters is one that I'm sticking in there. At first I didn't think that they belong. I was wrong. They belong there, but that's it. They're not. There's out of all the bands that are out there nowadays in the last 20, 25 years, none of the rock bands are super bands. They're not.
Put a smile on your face. Give Hailstorm 5 more years.
Right. I would love that, man. But, she struggles in places that are, 8,000 seats. I think Greta is bigger than they are now already. Because we saw 10,000 in Orlando, easy, packed. They could have put more people in that place if they had more. Place is jam-packed, and everybody knew the music.
But Greta also pulls older people because of the sound.
Well, actually,
they're eclectic.
They also piss people off because of the sound.
Well, it's a double.
I hear people they copy Led Zeppelin.
It's a double.
No, bro, they're influenced by Led Zeppelin, but you can't teach people to write great music, bro. I don't care what it sounds like. You know what I mean?
And they're all about classical.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's all their influences. When they talk about their influences, it's all classicals.
Right. But it shows you where classic rock is, that it's still there. And this also tells me that it's just not us old farts listening to this. Some of you young people must be consuming this. You must be getting into the Beatles. You must be getting into Fleetwood Mac and the Eagles and all of that. And I commend you. Because obviously that kind of stuff doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? But wow, it's pretty impressive. Streaming wise, 8:30 tonight, Fish has their Dinner and a Movie archival video series. Go to webcast.livefish.com if you are in a fish, PH, by the way, just in case. Ray Grulong, he is chiming in with a super chat. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you as always, my brother. He says, thank you for the cool memories earlier of the good old days of places we grew up with. No problem, man. Thank you, Ray, for always watching, downloading, listening, super chatting, all of that, visiting us, because you're also one of the listeners that visits us too at different spots, and we appreciate all of you out there. Hey, we'll be at VSS West Pines tomorrow. I think around 2, 3 o'clock we'll start the show, right around there. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow, man. I am not going to kill myself. I'm not, man. That's the beauty of this. We get to control the time we're on, so as long as our sponsor doesn't have a problem, because obviously they're first, and I don't think the boys have a problem with that. So we'll be out there a little later in the afternoon for the show. Hopefully we'll be talking about an Inter-Miami win from tonight. That would be really, really nice if we're able to talk about a win, man. That would be absolutely fantastic if they can do that. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter, and that's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. It is a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. You see Buster Posey. Buster Posey has decided not to play in the MLB restart. And let me tell you something. I don't even know why he was even thinking about it. He's got preemie twins in the ICU. Okay? Priorities. And by the way, Buster Posey has had some of the worst luck in baseball. He's had some brutal injuries early on in his career. That collision at home plate, all of that. This guy's gone through enough hell that if he wants to take the reboot off, it's not like the Giants are this incredible team anyways right now. Take it off, dude. Take it off. Buster and his wife have adopted identical twin girls. They were born prematurely last week and are currently in stable condition. It appears that the outlook is good, but you can imagine it's an incredibly stressful situation for any parent to endure. Posey says the decision to opt out of MLB season is in order to be with his family is a no-brainer. From a baseball standpoint, it was a tough decision. From a family standpoint and feeling like I'm making a decision to protect our family, our children, I feel like it's relatively easy. And listen, I don't know if he has, I don't know if they have other kids. Maybe they adopted because they can have kids. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they already have kids and they're just being great human beings by adopting another pair of kids. But for whatever reason it is, if they can't have kids and this is their kids, you got to understand why Posey is there. Or if it's just because he needs to be there for his wife and his children as support and not be somewhere playing baseball, that's kudos to Buster Posey, man, having his priorities right. And he has the ability to be able, remember what we were talking about yesterday? You got the president threatening schools that if they don't open, he will cut the resources. So these schools feel threatened like, oh, we won't have resources if we don't open. And teachers are being threatened pretty much, well, we're going to have kids in class. You need to come teach these kids in class and put your life at risk. Oh, but if you don't want to, you can take the year off. You just don't get paid and you don't get service time. And then you're not paying your bills. So you're kind of put in a catch-22. You're not even being given the option of, well, can I teach, remotely, since students, maybe some can learn remotely. And I think that's what's going to happen in Palm Beach. They're going to make that suggestion, which eventually every school system should be remotely this year, unless you're in North Dakota or whatever that, you have no cases, but in Florida, there's no way you can have schools. No way. It's ridiculous. So Buster Posey, by doing this, can you imagine? Remember, baseball's not in a bubble, so you get to come and go. What if you catch it and then you bring it back to? No way, man. No way. No way. Buster Posey's got plenty of money in the bank. We've talked about this before, right? Some people, okay, not just entertainers, not just athletes, not just musicians. Some of you out there might be, pretty well off, and you can afford to take off these months. Most of us can't. But if you put a gun in our head, we got to work because we got no choice. I mean, Bill and I have been grinding throughout the entire pandemic. We have no choice. We got to pay bills. We got families. You know, we got responsibilities.
You can
that we gotta
actually
meet.
say with the lack of sports, we've been grinding a little harder than usual.
Yeah,
because of lack of sports.
Yeah, no doubt. You're right. But kudos to Buster Posey doing the right thing, because that's what that is. That's the right thing to do.
Any of these decisions should be individual choice.
Of course. Everybody's different. Man.
Exactly. Thank you.
Everybody's different. Everybody's in a different world.
And to pass judgment and stuff like that, unacceptable.
If you're single, you're different than Buster Posey, bro. That's it. That guy's got every responsibility in the world. You're single, unless you have a health issue, then you've got a reason. But, yeah, man, everybody's in a completely different position. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We do want to remind you that Moodias Dental is a proud sponsor of our program. Go see Eric Moodias and company, man. I'm telling you, Invisaligns, implants, you name it, they do it all. I've been with Moodias Dental for a while now. I want you to call Eric Moodias and company. They are family-owned and operated. They are extremely clean, super clean. The service is amazing, state-of-the-art equipment. When you have a filling done or you have a replacement tooth or a crown or anything like that, they make the tooth right there and then. You don't leave with a temporary and come back a week or 2 or 3 because they've got to order it out. No, they make it right there and then. They take the digital imprint, okay? They get the measurements, and they go and they make it right away. Within 15 minutes, you have your tooth, and you're walking out the door, and you don't have to make a second visit. Isn't that beautiful? Call Eric Moodias, 305-821-0231. You want to clean those teeth? 305-821-0231. Go to the website, moodiasdental.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
We back. I see where the Chiefs and Chris Jones say they are close to a 4-year contract. That is cool. They are close to agreeing on a 4-year contract, according to the rap sheet. Jones has emerged as one of the most important members of the Chiefs' defense since they selected him in the second round. So this will be really smart because this is you get to sign the most important person on your defense and the most important person on your offense. And the two guys that are game changers, right? I mean, think about it. When Chris Jones plays, he is a disruptive dude. I mean, he is going to create all kinds of havoc on that D-line. And your old linemen are worried when they got to face a guy like that. Just like when you got to face Pat Mahomes. Forget about it, man. No look. He can throw it in any arm angle. He runs around and creates opportunities for himself and his teammates, and he's deadly accurate. I mean, Pat Mahomes is a freaking nightmare to have to deal with. And to see that Chris Jones and the Chiefs are close to a deal, that tells me that, you know what, you guys are getting it done the right way. Remember that you get to pay him. The numbers for Mahomes aren't that big these first 2 years. I would not be surprised if Jones has a pretty large signing bonus that they kind of try to get as much rid of in the first 2 years of this deal. So the back end, when Mahomes' numbers start to grow, his aren't nearly as big. So they may play with the numbers a little bit, and that's really smart if they do that. But again, kudos to them. That they, you win the Super Bowl and you sign your quarterback, and now you're able to sign Chris Jones, and you've got a pretty good team already as it is. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a 2020 season. We may have to wait till 2021, but whatever. Whenever you do take the field, at least you got a pretty damn good team that you can be pretty happy about and maybe excited enough to say, you know what, we may end up actually winning another Super Bowl here. With those two guys on the field, why not? It's definitely a possibility. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Chad Ochocinco says, I won't beg to make the Hall of Fame. Same stats as Michael Irvin. Chad Johnson says he doesn't give a damn if he ever gets into the Hall of Fame, but he clearly thinks he should. My number and Michael Irvin's numbers are exactly the same, Chad told the Athletic podcast. Irvin was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2007, 750 catches, 11,904 yards, 65 touchdowns in 12 seasons. Chad Ochocinco played 11 years, 766 catches, 11,059 yards, and 67 touchdowns. Irvin has 3 rings. Chad has 0. And he goes, are we letting people in the Hall of Fame for rings? The goalpost moves depending on who is the individual. The goalpost moves on what the accolades and what it means to get there. Ain't got time to play that game, man. And here's the issue I have with all of this. Okay? You saw those stats, right? And I tell you, okay, so Chad Ochocinco, does he deserve to get into the Hall of Fame with those stats? And he doesn't have 11,000 yards, but he has 9,000 yards, and that's Mark Clayton, 8,974 yards. Now, he has 84 touchdowns. So less yards, but he has more touchdowns than Michael Irvin and Chad Johnson. I'm just saying, right? 84 touchdowns to, where are we at? Where are we at here? Oh, I lost the page now. Back again. 84 touchdowns to 67 and 65. So he has 19 touchdowns more than those guys. That's a lot. Now they have 2,000 more yards than he does. That's a lot too. 11 seasons. What did Mark Clayton play? I don't know if he played 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 exactly. Exactly 11. I don't know. What do you do? Because Mark Clayton and Mark Duper aren't making the Hall of Fame. And in my eyes, they're easily Hall of Famers. In my eyes, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper are better than Chad Johnson. I saw all of them play. I watched every year of those guys play. Chad, Mark Clayton, Mark Duper. The Marx brothers are better. They don't have rings either. But if I tell you Mark Clayton or Chad Johnson, it's not even close. Mark Clayton, when he was playing, was second to Jerry Rice. That's it. When he was with Marino and balling, Mark Clayton was the second best receiver in the league in my book. I don't know. They don't make the Hall of Fame. Does Chad Johnson make the Hall of Fame? It's interesting. Now, if we have what's it called? What's that term that people use? That it's it's like fresh memory, but they can't think of the past. What's it called?
Selective memory?
No, not selective memory. It's not selective memory. It's prisoners of the moment. If we're prisoners of the moment and we're thinking about Chad because he's, recently retired, what is it, 7 years, 6 years, whatever it is, that he's retired. So Mark Clayton retired freaking 30 years ago. I don't know how long it is, 20-some years, 30 years. I don't know what it was. What was his last year? 93. So, yeah, it's almost 30 years ago, actually. It's 27. So the recent bias is there for Chad Johnson, and it won't be there for Mark Clayton. Did Mark Clayton get a ring late in his career? No, he did not. I think wait a minute. Let me see. No, I don't think so. Because in Green Bay, he was there before they had success. So, no. It certainly didn't get one in Miami. So, no. Ocho Cinco has no rings and benefited more statistically from a passer-friendly NFL era. Stats don't give accurate comparison. Mike, can't argue with that. Can't argue with that, my brother. You are correct, sir. Sometimes you are a product of your system. And look, Chad Ochocinco is a hell of a receiver. I'm not going to take that away from the guy. Hall of Famer? Wow. It's a borderline thing. I got to think about it. That means he's not in. For me, Mark Clayton, that's a Hall of Famer, bro. That's a Hall of Famer. That was a dominant dude.
The way that Chad ends his career, it just really fell off. There was nothing near his better years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that happens to a lot of receivers, a lot of players as they run out of gas. So that's not fair either, you know what I mean?
Then there's also these off-the-field stuff, and it just, when you couple that together with his pompous, arrogant, wearing a Hall of Fame jacket on the side, I
got you.
It just, when you put it all together, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff that comes to the forefront that's negative.
He had 7 1,000-yard seasons. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 13-plus 100-yard seasons, 13 or 1,400. He had 4 of those. He crossed double digits in touchdowns just once in 2003 at 10. He hit 9 3 other times in his career. And the New England, obviously, experience was terrible for him. He caught 4 touchdowns his last year in Cincinnati. He had 831 yards that year, but he had 1,047 the year before that, then had 540, and then 1,440, 1,369, 1,432, 1,274, 1,355, 1,166, and then 329 his rookie year. It's great numbers, man. Great numbers. I mean, it's hard to argue that he, it's
There's a case
you
for
can
the
make
guy.
an argument that he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
But
I think he's kind of a borderline guy. I think I call him like he's like an all-star, but not, he's like a Pro Bowler, but not an all-star. In other words, it's kind of the kind of way I look at him. I just think that but again, I know I'm using my bias a little bit, but to me, Mark Clayton is a no-brainer Hall of Famer as dominant as he was. So that's why I would put him there. And if you're not going to put Clayton, I have a hard time putting, if you're not going to put Clayton in there, I have a hard time putting Johnson in there. That's just kind of the way I am. Scott Sekulis was better than Ocho Cinco. There you go. Marx brothers deserve to be in Hall of Fame. And Zach. There you go. Got no problem with that. I'm with Bill. I can't stand Chad Okidoki.
the situation with the not throwing the receipt away, his Hall of Fame jacket thing on the sideline.
He's an entertainer, bro. He was having fun.
And then finding out afterwards that Chad doesn't like to pick up the check.
He didn't.
But then he went and made that huge tip that one time.
He's done it a lot, actually. He's left a lot of good tips. He's done it a lot.
But remember we had somebody that said that the guy doesn't like he shies away from
I don't know.
picking up the tab.
Well, that was Pippen, I think. That was one. But anyway, what's it called? The guy really never was in trouble. He was acting like a clown. He got in trouble when he got to the Dolphins. And he didn't really play for the Dolphins because it never really happened. He played for New England. It was the Bengals, and he had an offseason. He was here for a couple of weeks and then had the headbutting incident with Lozada, and he was done. And so that's it. It was over for him. But overall, he was never really a trouble guy. He was a fun guy. That's what he was. I can't hold that against him. I would call him a borderline guy, and I would say no. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. NorCal, by the way, says, happy birthday, Atlanta Dolphin Club President Scott Howell. Scott Howell, happy birthday. We got to get once you get the football season back, we'll get the presidents back on too. We'll get back to doing all that stuff too, and getting the boys on, which would be good. Chicago Marathon has been canceled. Don't know if you guys saw that. Another event, unfortunately, lost because of COVID-19. And that's a big-ass event, man, just like the Boston Marathon.
When was that scheduled for?
The Chicago Marathon, the 2020 Bank of America Chicago Marathon is the next major running event to bow down to the coronavirus. The event had roughly 45,000 finishers in 2019. It's one of the biggest in the world, and it was set to go off October 11th. Okay?
Okay.
So now Chicago joins New York, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo with marathons being scrapped. Now, we will keep our marathons in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties because the governor will want that. We want to keep spreading, COVID here all throughout the state. We want to keep our rankings.
When you're in first place, you don't want to be overtaken, okay?
We want to make it to the Hall of Fame, bro. It's important. We already have 452 people dead in this country today. Okay? Already. Wow. That's just not good. 970 cases, 452 dead. This is going to be one of those ugly days. Big O, what do they do with Bob Kuechenberg not being elected into the Hall of Fame was total injustice. You are correct. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But you know what? It's funny how, Bill was kind of like talking about Chad clowning around, and I don't really hold that against him. And I don't even know if I should hold this against him, but I do. And I know Bob Kuechenberg is no longer with us, but that man had at least 3 DUIs. And every time he would get a DUI, my disappointment in Bob Kuechenberg became bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? Because anybody that has 3 DUIs, at least 3 DUIs, he may have more, I don't even know. But you have such an alcohol problem. You know how many times you were behind a car?
If
and you
you've
didn't get
got
busted?
3 DUIs, you were usually.
You're a drunk.
Yes. Thank
You're
you.
a drunk. You're a drunk. And so that's where Bob Kuchenberg and I kind of part ways. And there's a part of me that I get what you're saying, that as a player, you can make a hell of a case for him as a Hall of Famer. There's a part of me that's kind of happy he didn't get in because he was so irresponsible on the societal side. And think about this, how many times he got behind the wheel drunk and he didn't end up killing anybody. And which is about the only bright spot I can find out of all of this. So that's where, I kind of run out of patience with Bob Kuchenberg. I can deal with Chad Johnson in a Hall of Fame jacket and clowning around, and that's fun, and he's not really hurting anybody, and the river dance and any buffoonery he had on the field. I enjoyed it. I laughed. Okay? And he wasn't really a hurtful guy until the Evan Lozada situation. But Bob Kuchenberg, I got to tell you, I'm extremely disappointed with that man. And I will always be. And it's hard for me to get over that because I take DUIs really serious. Look, one can happen to any of us. It's never happened to me, probably never happened to most of you, but never happened to you. But it can happen to any of us. We had a drink or two. We thought, hey, we're fine. We feel fine. And yet you're not.
It doesn't take a lot to blow .08.
Right, exactly. And so a mistake can happen to any of us. We're human beings. I can't really kill people for one mistake unless we're talking about murder or, rape of a woman or a child or whatever. That I don't forgive for nothing. But, you make a mistake of a DUI. We're all human beings, man. Okay? But when you have 3, when you have 2, we got problems when you have 2. We do. And if you have 3, I'm disgusted by you. I just am. And you know what? Some of you out there say, oh, that's wrong, oh. And you know what? You're entitled to your opinion on that. But I kind of hold human beings to a higher standard than that. And you just can't have 3 DUIs, bro. You can't. No. It's unacceptable. And again, the fact he had that many and no one died is truly a miracle. It really is. John Rouse is in the house. Buffalo Bills need to change their name since Buffalo Bill Cody killed Indians. Yeah, but they're not called the Buffalo Bill Codys. Jonathan Dill, Big
John,
O.
you're too much, bro.
He's a trip. Big O, what they did to Bob Kuchenberg? It is what it is. David Bowens was a great pass rusher in a short time. Look, let me tell you something. David Bowens was a great dude. Love David Bowens. Great guy. I haven't talked to him in years. What an awesome guy. Ted Hendricks got a lot of breaks in Miami Springs when he was drunk, and they let him slide a lot. Yeah, I'm sorry. That history is there with Ted. Yes. The Stork had his share of issues. Yes. He is infamous in Miami Springs circles. So you are correct, Tremolio. Your breakdown of Dak Prescott sucked, but your breakdown of the Stork is right on target.
You know how long me, Springs, and Ted and being same circles. And, the guy that talked about the arm wrestle, I was there one of those days when he lost an arm wrestling match at the bar, and Ted was not a happy drunk when he got upset.
Yeah, that's never good when you can't handle your alcohol, man. Yeah, that's
I understand he has made a huge turnaround.
Good. Well, he was headed for death.
Yeah, but he was.
Right. I mean, that's what alcohol will do. We'll kill you. We'll keep weed illegal, but we'll allow people to just kill their livers and themselves with alcohol. Our priority sometimes in this world is crazy. Meanwhile, marijuana is being used for all kinds of medicinal purposes. now, okay? And figured out, wow, this plant actually has like a lot of good stuff that goes with it.
Literally. Alcohol
just booze up there.
is poison. That's why you throw up.
Yes.
Because your body rejects it because it is poison.
Yep.
Not that we haven't all hugged the porcelain god at some point.
Everybody, but that's what happens. It doesn't happen when you smoke a couple joints. The next day, you feel fine. That's it.
Just might wake up with a sore stomach from having the munchies.
No, that's
eating
it.
A little too much.
Your stomach, maybe growly. Julius 305 says you go until 3 p.m. right? No. Julius, I'm double dipping today. We got a broadcast tonight, remember? I got a pre, half, and post.
You got to have something in the tank for the show this evening, man.
No? All right, so I can't, bro. I can't. I mean, I probably could pull it off, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I'm not going to do 4 hours today. Remember, because 3 hours is 5 hours of real radio.
There would be a carryover to tomorrow, so it wouldn't just be isolated to today. It would also affect tomorrow, man.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Julius, I love the Super Chat. Thank you, as always, for giving us love in the Super Chat. You are absolutely amazing. Along with DJ Gallagher, Weapons X United. I love that freaking name. Ray Grulong, as always, chiming in every day pretty much on the Super Chat. And we thank all of you, of course, for tuning in, downloading the show, however it is you do it. Thank you, Super Chatters.
Wow. Recent research has shown
Super Chat
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply to society.
Wasted no time. Super Chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super Chat.
That was perfect.
And Rouse in the house closes out with saying the Bucks need to change their name since the Pirates had slaves and killed innocent people. He's got a point there. You're honoring pirates and buccaneers, and those were bad people. So I'm you know what? John Rouse has got a point there. Time to change the Buccaneers.
People in Pittsburgh just got pissed off.
Joseph says, stay safe, y'all, and have a blessed day. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Omar. Thank you all out there, Troy, Alexa, everybody that's on the chat board, everybody tuning in. As always, thank you all for downloading whenever it is you download the show, day, nights, weekends, middle of the night, whatever. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be at VSS West Pines. I think we're looking at around a 2 o'clock start, right around there, 2, maybe 3. I don't know, depends on how I wake up. But you can check us out on social media.
Question.
And you'll get the warning on the subscription when we're on.
I was gonna say, are you gonna throw out something on your way home tonight?
Yeah, or maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know. Depends on when I wake up. I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 10:30.
Ooh.
But it's a Zoom meeting. So I get to
Yeah, but still, you're getting up.
I know.
So to go back down, it's gonna. Yeah.
Can you imagine? That's why I gotta get some rest. So yes, life moves. I gotta.
You know what it sounds like to me?
Building a radio station is not easy, bro. There's a lot of responsibilities.
I'm gonna guess we're gonna be on closer to the 2 than the 3.
Maybe. I don't know.
If I had to guess.
I don't know how I'm gonna feel by tomorrow, but we will be on tomorrow. That I will tell you. All right, Inter Miami tonight.
Please win.
Go to your apps, download the Inter Miami CF app, and then listen to our show. We start off at 10 o'clock tonight. We will start the pregame. Whittingham and Rongan will have the call of the game. Dono and myself will have pre, half, and post. So hopefully we'll be talking about a win, man. All right, we're going to be up this late. We want to do it for a win. You all be good out there. Please be safe. Wear your
as he pulls out a killer one.
Mask. Wear your mask.
Wash your hands.
Okay? Wear your mask. Love you all out there. Be safe.
See you tomorrow. Go Inter.